Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. And goodness, I've already got some stuff to talk about. Thanks so much to Jason White and Byakuya Eisen for becoming members before the stream even started. Look at them getting ahead of the curve. Thanks so much for the support, guys. I really appreciate it. Hello there. It's been a bit. We took Karasakarak. Oh, man. That brings me such joy. Okay. Let's talk about a couple of quick things. Hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all out there staying safe. I apologize that I wasn't streaming and putting out videos or anything for a few days there. Just, I kind of had to take some days off for me. And, I had to go... I kind of popped around to some different places in the area and checked out what was going on, and it's kind of just a madhouse out there. But we're here today to have some fun and get away from all that. So, hope you're all doing great today. Oh, I almost forgot. We got to do the hello cue, don't we? So, hello to... In chat, we've got Kira Haas, Dom, Jake Wu, Chris Erickson, Servant of the Great Horned Rat, Jed Nautilus, Brother Grimfang, Kylo Heisel, Somebody That's Bored, Deacon Smith, Steel the Iron Breaker, Disaster, Lord Inquisitor Ignis, Seb's Mad, Francis, Dr. Zero. I think I already said Disaster, but in case I didn't, man, my memory is so bad some mornings. Omegon, 32, Great Book of Grudges, Sign of the Emperor, always good to see you, my dude. Sign of the Emperor, keep your head to the ground. We'll be doing chats here either this afternoon. Well, we'll get scheduled for that. Egregoros, Phoenix Kelly, Enjoy Life, Educk, Andrew O'Haro, and Jif100. Also, hello over there on Twitch, Undertaker. Good, thanks for being here, my dude. And of course, we've got Mechasaur9 and ETG View. Also, Great Scholar and Ten Von Bull. Have I ever fancied a head-to-head with Heir of Carthage? That could be something fun to do. It's something that I could see happening, but it's something that would have to, like, there'd have to be a build-up to that. I'm not gonna, like, just smash his front door and be like, play with me! Because that would be rude. And of course, we are running on the beta. For those of you who may not have heard, Creative Assembly did put out a public beta that actually fixes the weapon skill bug. Sorry, weapon skill. Weapon strength. I was thinking tabletop. It fixes the weapon strength bug, so our guys should be hitting a lot harder. What's up, your boy Blue? Mornington Crescent, hello, hello. Started up an Azhag game yesterday, and Thorgrim wants to be my best friend. Interesting. Who knows more about lore, me or Arch Warhammer? I feel very. Here's my politically correct response to that. When it comes to lore that is 6th edition forwards. So, like, the year 2000 and... I'm going to say the year 2003 forward. Arch Warhammer... No. Like, no. Just no. Dude doesn't know what he's doing. I've heard it from his own lips a long time ago. But it's still relevant today. Anything before that? Maybe he knows more than me. But none of that's relevant to what I do or Total War, so I don't care. Alright, so last time we took the capital of the Dawi Empire, which is awesome. And we're very good friends with the vampire, the undead, who we can see here. The vampire counts have have taken over almost all of the empire. With the Southern Empire in control of the Von Karsteins. So, but we've got a defensive alliance with both of them, and we're kind of trying to get up to a military alliance with both of them.
Sit by my
but we're getting there. We're working on our second army, I think. As we continue to punch the dwarves in the face as hard as we can, over and over and over. But the point is, we have taken the Stunty Death Pit, as I renamed it to. And we will conquer everything. And we're working on a spider army for Rachnik's Spider Claw here. We're trying to get... I need enough money to get this.
The tribe's ready.
Okay, so I don't have any of that stuff yet. Do I have anything weird in this army? No, this army's pretty straightforward. We've got 2 units of fanatics. I might switch out one of these fanatics for some more biggins. But we got enough scrap here. I think we can fully upgrade all of our orcs at least. Alright, I'm running you with wizardly weapons on those dudes. And then I have scrap armor on my archers so that they can exchange fire better. And then we're getting scrap saddles on our piggies. That way we can just be a nightmare for the dwarves. And now we're going to hide outside in ambush stance in case any dwarves come by. We've already finished the tech tree, so that's good. Eloquently put. So all that's left is to make enough money to get Arachnaroks and this guy to be running a whole lot of spiders. Do we have any lava spiders? We don't. Okay. I don't want to use so much money that I can't... Okay, that'll work for right now. Where are we getting a rebellion? Oh, Karak Dromar, that's fine. Karak Dromar is something we kind of sniped out a while ago. Do I think they should make no diplomacy options? No. Here's what I think. Here's what I think, Mikasa. If they wanted to do something like that, I think the best thing they could do... So tell me if you guys think this would be interesting. But I think the best thing that they could do would be to implement a... Here, we'll let those guys be controlled by the AI, and my regular army's just going to curb stomp these Dawi. How would you guys feel if they introduced like a separate mode for campaign that you just had a toggle that said like lore accurate? So like if you had like a lore accurate toggle, if you had it off, it's pure sandbox. You can do whatever you want, ally with whoever you want. But if you click it on, then it's like you cannot, like even the AI, dwarves and Skaven and greenskins, or like dwarves cannot ally to greenskins or vampire counts or like any of the races that have like super ancestral hatred will not work together. Like it would require probably like a mess of coding, so I don't even know if they could do that, but maybe that could be like a thing for game 3. Would be like a lore mode. I mean, would y'all want that, or do you think that'd be like a waste of dev time? Because obviously that should never be like the main mode of the game, because sandbox is like really important to the CA devs, and they're not gonna, you know, they're not gonna fall back on that. Can I hide in here? No? Okay, well I tried. I don't know if that could ever be done, though. That might be too much effort. Because that would be a lot of work, potentially. I bet there could be mods that already do that. I don't know. I mean, I suppose you could always just introduce mods that do a better job of, like, just nuking their stuff into the game. Nuking, like, their diplomacy and stuff so hard that there's just nothing they can do with it. Andrew Shesmis, thanks so much for the super chat tip, my dude. Last 2 legendary lords I want. Also, who do I think it will be? Do you mean for Warhammer 2? If my dreams were answered, then the last DLC for Warhammer 2 would be, I would say Wood Elves versus Beastmen. And I would do, like, the Sisters of Twilight versus Tarek's the Brass Bull. I love that I have a goon squad for Azhag with this. Really, dude? Yeah, by all means, waste all your ammo. I am... Go right ahead. I'll be impressed if you hit me with one of those. Ah, you got close. You got close that time. Nah, not quite. How much scrap is too much scrap? There's no such thing as too much scrap. That's like saying there's too much DACA. Come on, be real. No such thing as too much DACA. Okay, put you nerds back here. You know what? Actually, y'all should yeah, that's fine. Oh, they actually hit me? Alright. Send Azhag over. I want this thing to get in range and start firing at Iron Breakers, because Iron Breakers are the bane of greenskins. Exclude all these nerds for the moment. Damn it. Okay. Idle of Gork, get out there and start throwing stuff, dude. Don't mind me just flying by to drop off a Wind of Death. Wind of Death at daycare. Never get tired of that spell. Alright. Let's take some evasive action here. Throw down a nice juicy purple sun. Maybe fire off a Gazing the Gash into this one. Break one of them. Ah, I love that that is like, seems to be a guaranteed break. That's so nice. Okay, I'm getting out of here. Alright, I've got the superior artillery. Kind of. You and you, stay there. Everyone else? Not that far forward. That far forward. Pigs! Infinite purple suns! Wyverns! Let's go take out that back line. I want you on that organ gun, and I want you on that organ gun. I lied. Go after this. Alright, send in the crappy guys first. Send in the crappy guys first. Then everybody else go in. Forward! Pigs, let's take out those Iron Drakes. Yeah, that looks like a good spot. Eight peak loonies. Other fanatics. Whoa, look out, look out, look out, look out. Hold them still. Alright. Dive down into this mess. Give all the upgrades. Throw down some debuffs. Go here, Wyverns. Ah, Grombrindil's leading this army, I just realized. Go get your big booty in combat. And Grommadil's crushed. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Are you allowed to use the Immortal banner on the Crimson Killers? Yes. If you are playing Grimgore and you get the Immortals banner and you unlock the Crimson Killers, you may stack them. And yes, and then you can also give them scrap. So yeah, you can make the most broken ass unit in the game, and it's amazing and really fun. You're not gonna catch me one, big guy. Just reload your ammo. Pigs! Let's run people down, please. While I try and eat old Gromby here. Nom. Yeah, they got him. Goodbye, Grombadol. We hardly knew ye. Oh, easy there. Beautiful hit. Alright. Let's get rid of these iron breakers. Nice fat Fate of Unit will do the job. Oh my gosh, look at all these units over here. Wyverns, go! Pig boys, this way. More death! With Troy coming out in August, I'm guessing the next Lord Pack will probably be September or November, or October. That seems very likely. We definitely know for a fact that they're staggering releases, just to keep things like on a rotating schedule. So it does seem extremely likely that we're going to be looking at a pretty good mix there. But oh man, speaking of Troy, my dudes, whoo, whoo, that's been a thing. So I guess we should talk about that, huh? So how's everybody feeling about that Epic Store exclusive? What's the point of an after-battle cleanup like this? So the point of an after-battle cleanup is that the AI, once you defeat an army, you basically can run around and kill off certain troops for free. And if you don't do that, what will happen, that can be a problem, is every troop of these I don't kill is going to survive for when I chase down this army later. Because I did not successfully ambush him. And this is kind of a scenario where he's going to be able to get away with whatever's left. So I want to make sure that when I chase this army, it's as easy of a follow-up fight as possible, which means making sure that I kill as much as possible. What's the funniest reason a Slayer ever took a Slayer oath? The funniest reason? I don't know. Very few Slayers take an oath for funny reasons. I can think of some really funny grudges that have been issued for like really frivolous reasons. Can't think of like a goofy Slayer though. Do I mean the game or the Epic Store exclusive? I mean both. Which, for anyone wondering, the best grudge ever declared by the dwarves was when they were walking through a mountain pass. There was a rock slide that killed a bunch of dwarves. And I can't remember which hold it was, but the hold in question declared a grudge against the mountain itself, and basically like issued an edict that they would mine every like ounce of mineral out of the mountain and basically make it like hollow in exchange for killing them. It was super silly. When's going to be the next AOS video? The next AOS video is not coming out until after Quick Head Taker comes out. Oh yeah, and that one missing coin was also a big one. That one wasn't as frivolous because the humans were morons in that scenario. Of when the dwarves came to them and they said, hey, your payment to us was 1 coin short. The humans should have said, oh, our bad, here's the coin that you're missing. And instead the humans were like, dude, it's a coin, get over it. And that did not go over well. That did not go over well at all. I'm listening. Give me Woundmaker. I didn't do that last time because it was like, why bother with this when it's gonna break. Goodbye, Nom. Eating all the stunties. We could upgrade Doom and Darkness to full. Could upgrade our artillery. So let's up Doom and Darkness, and then let's pick up Savage Smarts. Do I prefer blowpipe or javelin skinks? Personally, I've always been a bigger fan of javelin skinks, but that's due to like practical reasons. I've always preferred having. My thing is, I have always preferred having better armor, and in tabletop at least, and in this game, if you take javelins, you get shields. If you take blowpipes, you get nothing. You get nothing. Good day, sir. And it feels bad. That being said, I think actually in this video game, I prefer blowpipes. Just because you get way more ammunition. Which, you know, wasn't a thing in tabletop. In tabletop, there was no concept of ammo. You just did stuff. You had infinite ammo. Your armies were smart enough to bring enough ammo for everyone. Let's get liquor flasks. Do the Dark Elves own any land in Nagaroth beyond the 8 Black Ark cities? Yes, there are numerous Dark Elf mines, which granted they're all slave mines, and plantations, and a couple of little fortresses and other stuff like that. And of course, like all of the Black Towers along the northern border with the Chaos Wastes. Why do people hate the End Times? Because although the End Times had a couple of gems in it, overall it was super duper rushed. It constantly backtracks on itself and contradicts itself, so the lore is super inconsistent. And despite the fact that it was the ending of the setting, instead of like actually treating it with a lot of respect and being like, hey guys, this is the end of an era, so let's handle this diligently and like carefully, instead they were like, hey, what if we just like didn't like what the problem is that they kind of walked in there and were like, hey, what if instead of doing this really carefully, we like had entire races that people have paid thousands and thousands of dollars to maintain their like favorite army or whatever? What if we just like took a big dump on them and like didn't even have their entire race show up in the End Times? You know, and I mean, and there are like a bunch of characters that didn't show up, and it was just a mess. Do I think Creative Assembly should limit ammunition? What do you mean limit ammunition? Ammunition is limited. Unless I'm missing something. Ah, that's true, Undertaker. That was also a really bad grudge. I don't want to spoil that, though. If anybody wants to read about a really goofy grudge, read the Gotrek and Felix series, and there's a grudge that Gotrek has against, like, a childhood friend of his, or, like, an old friend of his, and that grudge is, when you find out the reason behind it, it's something else. It's something else. Give me another unit of Biggins. Actually, no. Give me another unit of Boar Boy Biggins.
Nasty magic's ready.
Okay. No, we're gonna send you to Grand Peak, not into Sylvania. So I'm not gonna bother with that. Okay. Does Azhag have to do anything to use magic, or is the Crown doing all the work? The Crown is doing all the work. If Azhag is fully in control, he cannot cast magic. Only the Crown is able to cast magic. What is my favorite part of the End Times? My favorite part of the End Times, for me personally, My favorite scene was... My favorite scene was the final siege of Karasakarak. The final siege of Karasakarak was super intense. And was like all over the place. And there were a lot of super badass moments. And it culminated with the death of Queek Headtaker. And it was just really good. I mean, I don't know. There were a bunch of scenes I really liked. Krokar, when Krokar beat Lord Skrolk, that was insane. That was one of my favorite scenes ever. That scene, like, broke my brain. It was so good. So, yeah, I guess I would say that. I think Krokar dueling Lord Skrolk was probably my favorite.
Now they'll see.
Okay, let's march you to the border here.
Push me.
Blast their brains out! The great green flows!
Nice. Man, I'm so sick of these stupid ghosts, dude. Kimmler had a really good story in the end times. Kimmler had a great story. The way they ended his, like, personal arc, I can't remember his name, but the Bretonnian that was, like, the ultimate rival for Kimmler, the way they ended that arc, I thought was really nice. Of, like, he did actually manage to wound Kimmler really bad, even though Kimmler ended up killing him. Kimmler's the only important character who died via miscast. Well, in the end times, yeah. There's been a ton of Warhammer Fantasy characters. Actually, that's not true. Dread Nautilus, Duffskull the Shaman, like Skarsnik's best friend. Duffskull the Shaman also died by miscast. His head exploded. Hi man, I was recently perplexed because my Temple Guard lost in a battle against Biggins. Lore-wise, Temple Guard will be stronger than Orcs, right? Temple Guard and Biggins are on, like, a relatively even playing field when it comes to, like, how much strength they can output. But Temple Guard are much, much, much more skilled and are better equipped. That being said, you have to remember that, like, the wall mechanic is a thing now. So when you're like, oh, my guys can win this easily, well, they're gonna need support. The wall will turn the tide against them if you're not careful. Give me them scrap saddles. Okay, we can start working on your upgrades as well. Can I get... What kind of arrows can I get? Ah, dang. Sucks. I really wanted to get, like, armor-piercing arrows on these guys. Is it time? It's time! Give me that Arachnarok spam. That's going to destroy my economy, but I don't care. Okay, let's start giving the melee guys... and they're at 52 armor right now. Once I get Goblin Tide, they'll go up a bit higher. I mean, anti-infantry would be really good on... we could do, like, half and half, I guess. So let's do, like, Jagged Weapon and Scrap Saddle. That way we'll have, like, some that are a little tankier.
I'm special.
That's fine. Actually... Okay, I think I'm actually going to give the rest of them Scrap Saddle. We'll rely on the Swamp Things for our, or the River Trolls for our damage. Yeah, Lewin Leyenker's entire arc was really good. Leyenker had a beautiful arc. I was upset over Duffskull's death. Duffskull's death was such a, like, Duffskull's death was so fitting, but you're also just like, ah, damn it. Titicus, thanks, appreciate that, man. Yeah, if Duffskull had just killed the Gracier instead of trying to show off, he would have won. Hey, Inu Okami. Happy to help you out, my dude. freaking dare the Border Princes to come any closer. I have one question. Do you know if it's possible to revive Nakai in Mortal Empires? I don't believe so. Not currently. Hopefully that is something they will address / fix. But to my knowledge, no. There's no way to bring him back. Once his faction has been wiped out. Oh, he'll revive on his own? Okay, there you go. That's what Chief Warlock Ikit Claw says. Granted, he is just a filthy Skaven, so he may be lying, but assuming he's telling the truth, there you go. Filthy Skaven. Okay, the Wa ends next turn, which is good because we actually did succeed in our Wa, which was to take Karazakarak, and they were like a Strength 1 or Strength 2 faction, which means we're going to get the biggest Stunty trophy, and we'll hopefully get some really powerful Wa units out of it.
The power of the big war.
Yes, boss.
Any characters I wish I had seen in the end times but weren't? Yes, the entirety of the Ogre Kingdoms roster. The only Ogre Kingdoms character we got in the end time was Golgfag Maneater. Not getting Grease's Goldtooth and Scrag the Slaughterer was very insulting to my ogre sensibilities. Odd one out. I don't know why CA made the move to do, however, small. Odd one out. So I don't know, dude. I don't know who made the call on that. Like, I don't know if Sega made the call on that, or if Creative Assembly made the call on that, but I can assure you whoever did do it was probably someone that was pretty high up at Creative Assembly, not someone, like, closer to the ground, like devs or anything. So I can't imagine what the devs are going through about the Epic Store thing. I mean, because, like, there's just too much around the Epic Store that's just negative. You know, not that I am defending it or anything, but it's like, there's just, like, even if they had, like, a perfect record starting, like, a month ago, there was so much bad vibes when they started that a lot of people just don't trust them right now. Like, I don't really have an opinion on the Epic Store because I have not tried to mess with them. There's a streamer who I really like watching who started off hating them, but they've, like, been doing an okay, in his opinion, they've been doing an okay job lately. Enough that he's like, yeah, it's alright. Like, he's willing to put up with them. So, that's kind of where I lean on it. But it is definitely going to hurt Troy. Because a lot of people just don't like the Epic Store on principle. Whether that's, like, fair or not, I can't say. Because, like I said, I haven't used it. And I'm not super educated on, like, what the deal is with why a lot of people hate them. Do I want them to shoot faster? Or do I want them to be faster and more armored? I think for the Death Creepers, I want them to be more armored. But the rest of them, we're going to go pew-pew. We're going to go pew-pew with these guys. Bubba Josepern, thanks so much for the tip, my dude. Is Lewin the greatest human duelist? How would he fare against the likes of Tyrion, Grimgor, Cetra, and Vlad? Is Lewin the best duelist? I would say that Lewin Leyenkur is one of the best duelists. I don't want to definitively say the best, because I'd have to, like, sit down and think about every single possible option. But Lewin is certainly one of the best human duelists. As for how he would do versus all those characters, let's see. I think Tyrion would actually be really, really hard matchup for Lewin Leyenkur. I think Lewin Leyenkur would struggle against Tyrion. But that has to do with the fact that, like, Tyrion's blade is literally a perfect counter to Lewin. And he's just, like, freakishly fast and skilled. Grimgor Ironhide, I think Grimgor Ironhide would be a fair matchup for Lewin Leyenkur. Like, that would be, like, a battle of the epics. And it would be impossible to predict who's going to come out on top in that scenario. Cetra the Imperishable. I think that Lewin would fall to Cetra, but it would be one of like the greatest battles of War. Oh, we got a lava Ragnarok. Boo, baby. I will take it. Oh, we got a Feral Hydra too. Nice. Yes, I will take my lava spider. Thank you. Yeah, Cetra I think would beat Lewin Laneker, but it would be very, very close. It would be super close. Cetra is just like... Cetra is one of the scariest characters in the setting. Grimgor, I could see Lewin Laneker defeating Grimgor, but it would be a hell of a fight. Like, that one I think is a pure 50-50. Vlad, I think Lewinker would beat Vlad.
I'll hear your message. If I don't like it, you'll know.
Like, although Vlad is a exceptionally skilled duelist and really, really powerful character and stuff, the big thing of, like, not having a mount and the fact that Lewinker can actually regenerate, which is, like, one of the biggest things that Vlad has that allows him to just curb stomp people is that he has, like, superhuman abilities, and if you kill him, well, he can heal while he's fighting, and if you kill him, he can get back up until you figure out how he's, like, doing that. I think Lewin Laneker, with, like, the blessing of the lady flowing through his veins, would actually have the ability to... I mean, being a Grail Knight, he would absolutely be able to go toe-to-toe with Vlad von Karstein. But more importantly, being a... more importantly for me is that the thing about him is he would actually be able to not only be going toe-to-toe with Vlad the entire time, but, like, Vlad healing through Blood Drinker. We've had it established that Blood Drinker, which is what Vlad uses to regenerate in combat, like, can drink the blood of his opponents. But it can have adverse effects on him if the blood is, like, not good for him to drink. Apparently, is what... Because that happened with one of the Nurgle champions he fought, the Glotkin. That being said, I don't know if that was, like, purely an end times thing, or maybe that's always how it worked. But I don't think drinking Lewin's blood would go well for Vlad. Because Lewin's blood is literally like... It's literally like shimmering light. It's literally just the blessing of the lady made manifest. And I think Vlad would choke on that stuff. And if Vlad was not able to heal using Blood Drinker, either because, like, Lewin's blood is basically toxic to him, or even if it did work like that, Lewin's just able to regenerate his wounds fast enough that Vlad really can't take advantage of the situation. I don't think Vlad would be able to take him down. I mean, and that's, you know, that would be after Vlad had to deal with fighting Biaki as well. Has Grimgor ever lost a one-on-one? No. Grimgor has never lost a one-on-one fight. He has been tied by Vardek Krom, who was like Archaon's personal herald. But Vardek Krom was not actually able to, like, beat Grimgor in a meaningful way. He was able to just hold him off until Grimgor's army was defeated. Oops, I meant to put these gobos somewhere else. Okay, they're coming on over here. What's leading this army? Ooh, an Orc War Boss. That's a little spooky. Wow, that actually really hurt. Let's scoot you guys up. Lewin's blood kills Kugoth Plaguefather in the end times, doesn't it? Yeah, it plays a significant role in how Kugoth dies. I mean, if I remember, the death blow is Lewin stabs Kugoth in the heart. But Lewin is able to substantially weaken Kugoth Plaguefather by bleeding all over him. And Kugoth's like, please stop. Please stop. Which way are you going up? Because I'm going to send my big boss the other way. These are boys, right? Okay, these are biggins. We want to send our biggins over here. Where are my archers?
Moving fast.
Ah! Get in there. Let's scrap. I am so dumb. I should have been focusing that rock lobber this entire time. Error boys, fight the gobos. Goblins, move to the center. Send in the piggies. Kill the war boss. Kill the war boss. Okay, we're doing really, really well in all these fights. This is going very nicely for us. Especially because this is a rebel army, and rebel armies can't wah. Which is like their biggest downside. Which is great. I love that rebel armies can't wah. It makes sense. They're not good enough to have a good boss. Actually, you know what? Since you guys... Maybe after that unit. Can y'all chase this unit? Where is... Oh my gosh. I can't wait for the siege rework. Sieges in this game make me want to puke sometimes. Like, this unit is rallying because I can't figure out where the actual unit is. Who do I think would win in a fight between Azhag and Malekith? Oh, Malekith. Malekith would win that by a landslide. Azhag is a very, very cool character, but Azhag does not use his magic very consciously. It's more of like the crown reacting defensively. And Azhag is constantly fighting with his crown, meaning there are times he loses control of it and like goes stupid. And is like no longer able to cast magic or defend himself very well. Which is how he died in the first place. If Azhag had, like, perfect control over the Crown of Nagash, it might be a fair fight, but yeah, no. Like, Malekith would just absolutely body Azhag. That wouldn't even be a contest. Plus, like, Malekith rides a dragon, a black dragon, and a scary black dragon at that. Seraphon is, like, one of the most perfect black dragons ever. Whereas Azhag rides a wyvern, which wyverns are just not in the same weight class as dragons. They need, like, their orcs to carry a lot. What unit scale size do I use? Large, because that's what the game's balanced for. Hi, Sotek from South Africa. Who's my best dwarf hero to start as in Mortal Empires campaign? I think the best dwarf lord to start as, if you just want to, like, have an easy time, is Grombrindal. Grombrindal is by and far the most overpowered dwarf character in the campaign. Or in the game. If you want what I think is the most fun campaign, I think Ungrim right now has the best start. Undertaker, by the way, I think Total War trailer has the biggest dislike ratio since the whole Warriors. Yeah, I don't really worry about the dislike ratios on announcements, especially when it's like a statement as opposed to like actually reflecting the game itself. I mean, I totally get why people are upset about the Epic Game exclusive thing, especially people who actually wanted to play Troy. I will admit that I am not personally really affected by what's happened because I was not going to play Troy anyway, and this just made my decision a lot easier. I mean, I was literally thinking of doing a video this week where I was going to be like, hey, do you guys want me to play Troy? And then I saw the announcement and I was like, oh, great, I don't have to do that now. Like, I can just skip this one and not feel bad about it. Send in the gabos! Minus 20% construction cost for all building and plus 12 weapon strength. It's so good. And that's on top of our Gork buff, giving us another... So we're running at 22% bonus weapon strength base because of our permanent Gork buff and our the biggest Stunty trophies buff. I love it. Connor, thanks for the tip, my dude. Do I know how the sieges will be reworked? I do not. And I don't believe CA has said anything concrete about how they're going to rework it. We just know that going into Game 3, one of the major parts of that is going to be reworking sieges. Like, that's going to be one of, like, the headline alterations. Okay, I guess we'll recruit a third army here. I mean, we can afford it. So, I kind of want a Night Goblin. Do we have the right buildings here? Yeah, we do. And we can just put a squig building in one of these. So yeah, give me Night Goblins. Mushroom Addicted or Serial Dancer. That upkeep production is pretty sexy. Kiro, thanks so much for the tip. Please rename the Pillars of Grugni to Pillars of Gork. Please, boss. You got it. As soon as I take it over. Okay, I want you to get Blade Master, Choppas, Deadly Blade, Fermented Fungi, Woundmaker, Thick-Skinned, the Boss Loons, Better Night Sneakin', Nastier Squigs, Drippin' Tips, Ambusher, and a Great Cave Squig. And then take these guys. What really pisses me off is that autumn that in 2019 they said coming to Steam 2020. Up until a few hours after I pointed out to them, Steam also still said coming 2020. Well, I am assuming, assuming that the Epic Store exclusive thing is probably a fairly recent update. As much as nobody likes it. Hopefully they got a lot of money for it. I mean, hopefully they made enough money that, like, they don't need the game to do well in order to come out on top. Undertaker, yeah, I've seen that mod. Who would win in a fight? A Praetor or a Manticore? Do you mean a Praeton? A Praeton? A Praeton or a Manticore? That's a good question. Let me look at my Praeton here for half a second. Man, I want a Praeton in the Beastmen roster so bad. But there's like a million other things they gotta do still. Praeton. My money's on the Praeton, I think. Well, I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. If the Praeton was like fully decked out, then my money would be on the Praeton. I think if it was like the weakest or the most average, I should say if it was the most average between those two species, then my money would be on the Manticore. I guess I could pick up Sneaky Stabbas just so I have it. Alright, Azhag is max level. And I'm just gonna capture a Mount Squighorn. I don't feel like burning it down. Ooh, wait. Our income did just kind of plummet. Never mind, I'll sack it. Ooh, we got Butcher. And then let's capture the Pillars of Grugni. And we're gonna rename them properly. The Pillars of Gork. As it should be. Oh, it's spider time. Wow, that balance of power does not at all reflect how this is going to go. Oh, is that a max tier garrison? Yeah, I guess it is, but they're still kind of trash, to be honest. I guess I'll fight this. I have so many Arachnaroks in this army. Do I know about the Knights of the Everlasting Lights lore? I vaguely remember who they are. I don't have their lore memorized. I'd have to go look at it. Will we be seeing the Chamber of Approval stuff soon? Archmage, yes. How about... I don't know, how about Saturday? I've been meaning to do that. I've been trying to finish up some Ogre Q&A stuff. But, because I'm so close to having all of the questions answered. And I need to just... because I need to start recording them again, but I've been trying to, like, finish it. Okay, here, we'll just swarm both sides. That way the AI can't, like... has to decide which side it wants to protect. Because you can't protect both! Oh yeah, this side is like super boned.
My elders, I ain't messy. I'm the boss.
Go forth, my pretties. On a scale of 1 to 10, how OP would an ogre in full chaos plate be? If 10 is, like, insanely overpowered and 1 is not that overpowered, I'd probably put that at, like, an 8. Is there a lore reason why Scarsnake doesn't ride Gobla? Yeah, it's because Scarsnake is really smart, and riding a squig is very suicidal. The only goblins that ride squigs are literally the most insane of their kind. Squig riding is a very delicate art, and by delicate, I mean that the survival rate is especially low. Scarsnake is very, very clever and values being tactically useful on the battlefield, and if you're a squig rider, that is not your job. Do you think we'll get an insight into how the new siege system works with the Troy saga? I don't think so. I don't know if Troy's going to have a lot of impact on those kinds of things. What's taking so long? Get these gates open. I'm losing a lot of spiders. Aha! Swarm the city! Good, good. Swarm the city! Ignore the thing and all their little shooty nonsense. Let's just take the core of the city. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Quit getting stuck. Is squig riding a career or a fanatic? It's more like a career. It's just it just has a similar survival rate. Oh, whoops, you guys have that on. Come on. The Arachnaroks will hold the legions back here. No, do not fight them. Come on. We are so fast. Do not worry about the dwarves. They will catch up to us. There is so much space they could be using, and they just refuse. It's amazing. Go around! Good lord. There are a few things as idiotic in this game as, like, trying to command your own troops to move around. Come on, let's go! If he wants to fight, he can fight us where I'm gonna fight. None of this plain fair shit, we're goblins. Good, good! Now we're finally moving. A lava rock, you will deal with this bullshit. Come and get me, stunties!
Right side.
Come and get me.
Moving fast. Take that.
I want them to surround the lava Ragnarok so I can actually do something with it. Drift! Spider, activate the spider drift! Let's make them all very slow.
Right side it. This one.
Bye. Much better. And wait. Now. Get in there.
Right side it.
All you lot, attack! Archers.
Right side it.
Pull you back. Pull back.
Got a plan. This shrew will have ya. I'll eat you.
So many spiders. Do you think CA will add the lore of Athel Lauren magic with a Wood Elf DLC? I hope they do. That'd be really cool. If they did, I would imagine it'll be exclusive though to like a certain character. Like if they put Queen Ariel in the game, like if they gave us Queen Ariel, I would love for her to uniquely have the lore of Athel Lauren. But I would here's the thing. Here's the thing. I do not think you can give the Wood Elves the lore of Athel Lauren and the lore of High Magic and Dark Magic. You have to pick one or the other. Because the Wood Elves originally had their own lore until they were like, wait, no, the Wood Elves just have literally every lore. So you could either have the lore of Athel Lauren, or you could have the lore of Dark Magic and Light Magic. Or Dark Magic and High Magic. You'd have to pick between those. Who will be the next Beastman Lord? It better be Tarix. How big in retrospect is the Colossal Squig? The Colossal Squig, although colossal for a squig, is not like so insanely big. It is, how best to describe its size? The Colossal Squig is more in the ballpark of... best way to describe it. I would say the Colossal Squig is about the same size. I mean, it's big, but it's not like... It's not like so big that it like defies belief or something. I'll put it this way. It is large enough that it can comfortably fit a armored knight on a horse in its mouth. Hopefully that gives like a rough estimation. Oh my gosh, critical failure, what a nerd.
The great green flows. Book summons me. Get out.
Kill all that before it rebels real quick. Or like adds to that army. Okay. Is Colossal Squig like the size of an elephant? No, it's bigger than that. A bit bigger. Like 2/3 the size of a giant? Not that big. Yeah, I'd probably say it's like, let's see, a giant. I'd probably say it comes up to like a giant's waist. So probably like half the size of a giant. The thing that's really scary about a Colossal Squig is how fast it is. For how big it is. Like, it can fit almost anything in its mouth. Because its entire body is its mouth. But the super scary thing about it is the size, or how fast the damn thing is.
Oh, mighty lord.
Yeah, no, it's not the size of Kolek Suneater. Dude, if there was a squig the size of Kolek Suneater, I do not know if the world could have stopped such a horrible monstrosity. Like, you wouldn't even have time to react when that thing was like on the offensive. You just hear like a weird boing sound in the background, like miles away. And then next thing you know, like a giant fleshy mass of death and doom would just land on you. Like land in and among your troops. Everyone's just like screaming, running around as it's just like gobbling people up. Literal nightmare scenario. Okay, go ahead and capture Squighorn. I'm gonna put a Squig building in Squighorn. It's only fitting. Alright. Making progress. Tearing down the Dwarf Empire one annoying step at a time. Oh, it feels good.
Who needs stabbing?
Nobody right now, but thanks for offering. You know what? I want to upgrade all my spiders. I want scrap barding on the 2 that I actually care about, and then I can't afford anything else. You lead. I don't really need leadership on my trolls. I'll give them weapon strength.
Never.
So sick of these stupid ghosts. Freaking ghost dwarves! I want you to go spy on Black Crag for me. What does Nurgle's mansion look like? From what we know, it's, I mean, there's like, I think there's like borderline artwork of it. It's basically just like an comically oversized, grotesque manse. So it's like a giant wooden structure where everything is like rotting away and like creaking under its own weight, and it's like sagged really sadly into the marsh. And it's just a super pitiful structure overall. But, I mean, it's big enough for Nurgle to walk around in, so it's, like, pretty massive. Do I think Creative Assembly will add the Twilight Sisters? Or the Sisters of Twilight? I really hope they do. They're my favorite Wood Elf character. Colossal Squig versus a Carnosaur? Most of the time, that would go really badly for the Colossal Squig.
Azhag is here.
Well, I could just kill him. Before he gets the chance to make a mess. Eh, whatever. He'll come to me. Grombrindle wants a fight. I can smell it.
Ready for bossing.
So I will accept this challenge.
This magic is real.
Zafar is mine! As it should have been a really long time ago. Oh, I'm level 10. That means it's Goblin Tide! Plus 15 armor for all Gobos. I love it. Then give me... I don't think the Gobos works on Spider Riders. I think it has to be Artis, Nails, and Riders. So let's start with... Actually, let's start with the big lads. So I can get my Arachnaroks all juiced up. Got a giant spider for our hero. And give me Wild-Eyed for the Hag. And then Zupbar, we're going to upgrade it. And unfortunately, the Vampire's on the last thing here, but I'm hoping that they'll lose that settlement to Rebellions, but we'll see what happens. Are there any dinosaurs the size of Kolek Suneater? Yeah, they're called Dreadsaurians. Let's see. Snotter, thanks so much for the tip, my dude. Does the Ancestor, Heroes, and Belagar's campaign make sense lore-wise, or is it creative simply being creative? Okay. Technically, there are... In the lore, we have seen that there can be dwarves whose, like, their spirits are so riled up because of some kind of, like, sacrilege or some horrible crime being committed, or, like, a grudge left unavenged, that their spirits will continue to hang around. This was covered pretty extensively in the very first Gotrek and Felix book. However, I'll put it this way. It is not beyond the realm of impossibility, but they would definitely not be so flagrant as they are in campaign. Kiro Haas, hey boss, there was a squig in Age of Sigmar that was bigger than Kolek Suneater, Boingroth the Squig God Beast. He died when he jumped up to eat the sun/Hish and got burned to a crisp. That's amazing, I love that. My opinion on lack of Kraken Rock in the end times? Well, I mean, they retroactively put Kraken Rock in the end times. We actually got an update on Kraken Rock's lore in the Age of Sigmar Beasts of Chaos book. In the Age of Sigmar Beasts of Chaos book, it actually talks about what Kraken Rock did during the end times and what happened to him afterwards. Which, the TLDR was that Kraken Rock woke up, rampaged around a whole bunch, but then the world exploded. So he got hurtled out into space. And Kraken Rock is so big and so scary that being hurled through space was like a minor inconvenience for him. Even though, by all rights, it should have killed him. So he just, like, drifted across the cosmos for a really long time until he eventually touched down in Age of Sigmar. And he was just like, oh, I guess this is, like, just my life now. And now he's worshipped as a god of the Beastmen. I mean, there were some other shenanigans, like he battled against Sigmar and a bunch of other crap happened. But for the most part, it revolved around him, landing in the mortal realms. He landed in the realm of heavens. And so Sigmar fought him for dominion of that realm. And Kraken Rock was defeated by Sigmar eventually. But it was like a really big, long war. And apparently, with the death of the world that was, Games Workshop retconned, or like the Dark Gods were like, okay, you guys can procreate now, because Kraken Rock somehow reestablished his entire species, which I don't know how he did that. Like, who knows? Maybe it turns out that Dragon Rogers are actually only one gender, and like instead of procreating like male and females, they just like spawn new ones out of themselves. I've never seen a lady dragon ogre. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Not once. There we go. It's like, I've seen many things, but a lady dragon ogre is not one of them. Okay, normally I like you to throw rocks, but you're really, really good against dwarves if we just rush you in. Ooh, that's a flame cannon. I don't like those. Just gonna get rid of one. Boop. Forward, lads. Go there. You go there, you go there, you go there, you go there. Azhag, let's get busy. Gyro bombers. How silly. Let's see. Let's do a purple sun there. Then I'm gonna do a wind of death right there. Do a spirit leech on the slayers and a soul blight. I'm gonna dive down on Grombrindle. We're gonna wah. Archers, let's focus the bombers, please. Black Orc Big Boss. Somebody, please, shut that thing off. It hurts. Crimson Killers, forward! Good lord, I'm taking a beating from Grombrindle right now. Just gonna go ahead and peace out for a hot minute. Come over here and resolve all this garbage. Stop that, hammers, just die. Come here, Gromby. Got something for you. Hold your fire. Actually, I lied. Aim at these dudes. Is the flame cannon a super reliable invention by the Engineers Guild, or can it backfire? I mean, it is super reliable, but it can backfire. But it is very reliable. How badly would Grom beat down Azhag? I think you might be underestimating our boy Azhag there. I do not think a matchup versus Azhag would go well for most greenskin characters. I think Grimgor could beat Azhag. Grom, I do not think Grom or Skarsnik would be beating Azhag in like a fight. I could see Skarsnik absolutely like outmaneuvering him. Grom though would get picked apart. Grom would not enjoy a fight versus Azhag. That would be a bad time for him. Why in the game does Malekith get no diplomacy from minor Dark Elf factions? Probably the best excuse against that, or like lore explanation for that, is that Malekith is notoriously encouraging of the various Dark Elf factions to... Oh my gosh. You are a horrible shot. Malekith is very, very against the idea of the Dark Elves being like super buddy-buddy and like constantly obeying authority and stuff like that. Malekith is a very strong proponent of the strongest will survive, and his people should constantly be trying to kill each other. Now, not openly. They should be always trying to like backstab one another and outplay one another and assassinate one another. because Malekith is a very firm believer in that if his society is constantly attacking itself, then only the strongest will survive. Therefore, Nagaroth will be in its best scenario if they constantly purge the weak from their society. So it kind of makes sense that when Malekith is trying to like dominate the other, is trying to like do stuff, a lot of the other Dark Elf cities are usually trying to like worm their way into getting what they want out of it, or trying to find a way to kill Malekith, or trying to like dedicate the least amount of resources possible while also maneuvering themselves into the best positions. Like it makes sense that it would not be easy for Malekith to maneuver his councils and the other Dark Elf factions into like immediately behaving themselves. Like he would have to bash some heads, and probably a couple of like particularly ambitious Dark Elves would have to be reminded why they are not in control. If that makes sense. That being said, it would certainly make sense for him to have some kind of mechanic to dominate them a little easier. Like through the Black Council or something.
A foot stagger slashes down so we can talk.
Somebody that's bored. Did the Skaven make multiple nukes? Or was the one that went off when the Slaanesh moved the continents the only one? So, technically, somebody that's bored, and this is kind of a fun fact, the device that blew up when the Slaanesh moved the continents was not actually a nuke. It was, we don't know exactly what it does, but it was referred to as basically like, it's called like the Skaven Doomsday Engine or something, but it was something that was designed to basically allow the Skaven to dominate the planet. So if I had to guess what it did, I'm assuming it was some kind of device that would unleash like an overcharged Dreaded 13th and turn like the world's population into Skaven or something stupid like that, knowing the rats. However, it blew up. The thing was, it was so grotesquely overcharged with magical energy, and it was like directly on a fault line buried in the earth, that when it detonated, it caused the continents to continue shifting a bit more and almost wiped out the Skaven as a species because they're idiots, and they didn't have any like safety systems in place for if it backfired or didn't go off properly. The only nuke that the Skaven invented canonically, so there was a nuke that the Skaven made in the Storm of Chaos, and they put it underneath the city of Corone. That one didn't go off, but that one's no longer canon because End Times got retconned out of existence. But outside of the End Times, or outside of the Storm of Chaos, if you read the book called Thanquil's Doom, that one revolves around Ikit Claw inventing his nuke, which are the Skaven, I forget what they're called, but the Doomsphere. That's the book about the Doomsphere and what happens with it. And it's actually kind of a funny story. I'll put it this way. The Skaven have never created a nuke that actually worked. I'll put it that way. The one underneath Corona, the Storm of Chaos, didn't work. The one in the one during the Skaven story, which you have to read to understand why it didn't work, but that one doesn't work. And then there was Ikit Claw actually created another one, like another nuke type weapon in the End Times that got stolen and given to Skarsnik, and that one for some reason didn't work either. Because Skarsnik tried to set it off to blow up Carrick 8 Peaks with all the Skaven inside, and it just, nothing happened, and it was really weird. They never explained that either.
The tribe's ready.
You figure Games Workshop would be like, here's why it didn't work, or somebody stole it back at the last second, or the Skaven, or the Vermin Lord that gave it to Skarsnik broke it, you know, or something. But nope, there's no explanation. They're just like, yeah, it just didn't work. And you're like, okay. I guess. Okay. we have completely and utterly pushed the dwarves out of the north. There is now only dwarves in the west and in the south. But gosh damn, there are a lot of dwarves in the south. But still, we're making progress.
I'll let the doors open for the boys.
Oh, this dude. And we've almost stabilized our economy. Almost. We're getting there. Have I read every Warhammer Fantasy book? No, actually. There are a couple of books that are not in my collection yet, just due to financial reasons. I hope to have every book in my collection one day, but I haven't quite gotten there yet. And there's a couple books in my collection I have not read yet, just due to time. So, like, a good example is I have not read the Nagash trilogy yet, because it's a fairly long book, and also, like, how do I say this? Wait, what? I was in ambush stance. Why can I not run away? Well, whatever, fine. I've got, like, a massive ass... Oh my god, I have such a big secondary army. I'll let the AI control it because I'm being really lazy. Krakow Wolf Herder. Okay. Well, this'll be fun! But yeah, the lore accuracy of the Nagash trilogy is a rather famous, thing. It's like a whole... it's like a whole thing. UNSC Snowman. There we go. Yes, I have renamed some of the settlements at requests from people in chat and such to make them more orky. Okay, so we're going to actually deploy a good ways back so that I have the advantage of throwing rocks and waiting for the AI to reinforce me. Man, I love how well armored these orcs are, dude. Orc archers with almost 70 armor. That's insane. And they all have an 8% ward save and frenzy. It's so good. It's so good and tasty, as Turin would say. I saw Turin started like a Grombrindal legendary campaign yesterday, or a few days. I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. But I want to. I so bad want to send him a message and be like, hey, if you actually want to play on hard mode, then you need to use this mod. Because you don't understand how much scarier the AI gets when it has enough skill points to actually be good. Like, it just completely changes the game. Okay, Grombrindal. Okay, so he's way back there. So let's redeploy here. Send Azhag over to pay a visit. Don't mind me just flying over so I can just kill everyone. Ooh, I really like this little batch. I'm trying to figure out where he's going to stop, though. No, don't turn around! Ah, oh, damn it. Little shits. Oh, he's got actual cannons? Well, that's no fun. You have to do something about that. Oh, they're shooting my pigs too. Pigs, back up. Rude. One down. I got jukes for days, AI. He's got 3 sets of cannons. What a jerk. Okay, now seems like as good of a time as any for this. Oh no, keep moving! Well. That was still a pretty good cast. I'm still cool with that. Shoot the thing! Oh, for God's sakes. Nice! Good hit. Gonna go down and eat that. Alright, well that's morons distracted. Let's get to work. Forward! Sorry guys, let me mute my phone here. All my buds are up, actually early for once.
I'm gonna kill him! Process faster! This smash! Let's do this!
Archers! Let's get rid of these giant slayers. Get rid of the giant slayers for daddy.
Let's fight! Come on, boys!
Oof, 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 it hurts.
Let's get him! Process faster!
Forward!
Fast! Come on, boys! Let's get some! North, watch out! Faster! Let's get some! Looking for the crowd of Stunty! Yeah! Here comes a smell!
Okay, you go there. You go here. You go here. Let's take all this garbage out. Oh, fanatics! Ugh. Okay, let's get some bonus armor over here. Boop. Any plans for Battle March? Oh, yeah, I need to get back on that. Soon. Is that Thorgrim down there? That is Thorgrim down there. Oh, wait, no, that's just a Dwarf Lord. Whatever, I'm gonna kill him anyway. How we doing, pigs? Good, 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 good. Let's keep smashing up these ranged units. Don't stand there, you dummy. Charge. Okay, you deal with the Lord. I've got to go smash other stuff. Oh, look at this. Look at this pocket right here. Oh, hold still. Hold still. Hold still. Thorgrim Grudgebearer. Oh, you get. Oh, he's got like a lot of friends. I probably should not stay here too long. Oh, God, these pigs are doing so good! I'm so proud. They're just making me all kinds of pleased. This has turned into kind of a big fight, hasn't it? Good job over here. Let's focus these Ironbringers. Crimson Killers, get in there. You get off this last thing here. You two, come over this way. Whoa! I need to get rid of Thorgrim's bodyguard. Okay, that's one lord dead. Forward! Ooh, Rogue Idol versus Thorgrim Grudgebearer time. Good work. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. I'm gonna fly over here so I can pop smash them faster and Ard armor. See if I can get rid of Thorgrim's bodyguard. What a damn mess, dude. This is nuts. I love it, though. Oh, yeah, I forgot about you. Get over here. You've actually got a really, really useful ability. And it's over. Dang it. Man, that fermented fungi would have been, like, super useful right about now. Black Orcs! Kill Ungrim! Or, not Ungrim, Thorgrim! Who is my favorite High Elf Lord? My favorite High Elf character is Corhill. Corhill, the captain of the White Lions. He is my favorite. Let's lower his armor. God, he has 156 armor. What a Chad. Not you. You chase that unit. That unit's got a little too much health for my liking. Eat him! Well, that was a bloody affair. When will the Dwarf campaign continue? After I finish the Azhag campaign. But don't worry, we will get back to our Grombendel campaign. Die, Thorgrim! Your time is over, beard boy! Ah, good hit. Eating up Dawi. Who's my favorite demon character? Ooh, my favorite demon? My favorite demon is Kugoth Plaguefather. I love Kugoth Plaguefather. My second favorite is probably Nakari. Just because Nakari has the most appearances of any demon in the lore. Which is really sad, because he loses in almost all of them. That Nakari is unfortunate. Nakari is basically that that character who they use to show off how awesome another character is. But yeah. How do bows of Avalorn work? Magic. There you go. Oof, we took a lot of damage that fight. But it was worth it. Looks like we outright killed one of the armies. How effective are boars in battle compared to the standard Empire Cav? Traditionally in the lore, boars are just as effective as heavy Cav. Because the thing about boars in Warhammer Fantasy is I think they're bigger than our world's boars. And their coats are like so shaggy and like just full of this gross matted hair that it literally makes them like I fucking hate when I do that. It makes it where the boars essentially have the same, their fur and hide is so thick that it basically counts as them having full-on armor plating. And they're also they also hit way harder than horses do because of their nasty-ass tusks and teeth. Which, granted, from what I understand, having lived in West Texas for a little while, boars in our world are freaking terrifying. Best death in Warhammer Fantasy? Best death. Who had the best death? I would give the best death award. Best death. Goodness gracious, we lost a lot of troops. Who had the best death? Man, that is a question. That is technically a question. I would say the best death. No. That one definitely wasn't. His death could have been better, so not him. His death happened off screen, even though it was awesome, so not him. Theirs were too quick. That one was cool, but it kind of... Quick Head Taker. I think Quick Head Taker had the best death. Even though it was definitely not about him being the heroic king of the moment, I do think Quick Head Taker had one of the most badass deaths in all of Warhammer Fantasy. No matter how you spin it, like it was an awesome death. And I'm really, really glad that, like, and he went out like a badass. Actually, you know who had the best death technically in the end times? The best death technically in the end times, I would actually say, is Gorfang Rotgut. Gorfang Rotgut had an amazing death. Like, he had a nice little novella just fully build up to everything about him. He was perfectly in character the entire time. His character was treated with a lot of reverence, and they told a really awesome story where he had a dramatic impact on what was going on, and he died, but he went out like a badass. So yeah, I would say Gorfang Rotgut had the best death. How many dragons are there still living in the lore? I don't know. That's a total... That is... Oh, assassinated. Oof. Oof. My boy Elbog is dead. Oh, we've encountered Quick Head Taker. Wonder if we can be friends. Because I'm getting sick. Oh, it's because they confederate with Clan-Eshin. Okay. If we could be friends, though, that would be awesome. Like a bat. Didn't he get cursed out by Thorgrim? Well, Queek did a lot of stuff leading up to his death. And like I said, he was not necessarily the big badass in the moment. But I think Queek's death was, the whole situation was super badass and like well written. It was a lot of fun.
Brave Dwarf. Right, yes.
Wow, he's power rank 3. Yes, I definitely want Queek as my friend. Oh, okay, we're actually doing pretty good on... Oh my gosh. My short campaign victory includes killing Ostermark, but my long campaign victory doesn't. Why is Ostermark still alive? What? What? I guess I need to send my spiders up there to take this whole area. How close are we to winning this campaign? We need to control 8 of the following settlements. I control 2 of them. Yikes. Who controls Kislev? Oh, it's because I'm not military allies. Okay, that's what we're missing. Okay. Okay. Cool beans. Oh man, I'm not going to be able to finish any of these because he's going to lay assault to Kazakadak, isn't he? Or he's just going to hit the Pillars of Gork, like a rude boy. What a rude boy. How do I want to do this? I'm going to move Azhag to just outside the Stunty pit. Where I'm in range. And then I'm going to ambush. And if we're lucky, we'll catch Belagar with 3 armies and he'll die. With, like, no fuss. What do y'all think? Should we have the spiders help us focus on the dwarves? Or should we send the spiders north? Because this is literally an entire province ripe for the taking. Any thoughts? Do spiders have armor piercing? Not the regular spiders. They have a little bit, but not enough where it like counts as AP. But the Arachnorocks have a ton. You think we should send the spiders north? The great Spidercade. How strong was Lokir Felhart? I mean, Lokir Felhart was one of the greatest terrors of the high seas. Lokir Felhart was... Okay, let's send them north. Send them to take the Black Pit. Now our allies on the Black Pit, and I'm not starting a fight with them. It's not happening. I'm already having a hard enough time getting that final military alliance tag with these jerks. Because they're like, oh, you're not strong enough to be our friend. Assholes. Actually, lure Belagar to me. Oh no, weak little night goblin. Whatever will he do? I could declare a new war. Don't think I want to just yet because we're not really in a good position for it. Good job, Gabo. Go north? Okay, yeah, okay. I'm getting a lot of go north. Okay, so we're gonna send the spiders to take Ostermark. It's gonna be the spider apocalypse up there. And then we'll focus on getting our Night Goblin army built up, and our Night Goblin army will help us take out the dwarves. Dead-ends into Sacred Spider Grounds? You know what? Dead-ends are just gonna be feeding the spiders for now. Plus, there's nothing in the Black Pit for us. That's the dumb part. If the Black Pit had like a unique structure that rewarded me for going there, then I'm totally in. But it doesn't. Ah, we gotcha, you little punk. Die. Silly dwarf. Oh yeah, sorry, Lokir. So Lokir Felhart is actually is a really good character to know in Warhammer Fantasy because Lokir was kind of the tipping character who allowed the Dark Elves to reclaim like ultimate skill. I don't know about ultimate skill, but they like reclaimed their position as one of the dominant forces in the like the global war, like the naval war between them and the High Elves, which is pretty cool. Lokir Felhard is actually one of his biggest accomplishments was that he was the one who killed. He managed to successfully kill Sea Lord Iceland, who of course is one of the who was the leader of the High Elf fleets. You know, being the Sea Lord. He was the Grand Admiral, so to speak, of the High Elves. He was killed by Lokir Felhard during, like, a big duel between the two of them. And kicked off the ship. Where he was definitely dead. But then, it seems like the Sea Lord Mathland took over his body. And used it like a puppet for a few years. Would Aranessa and Iceland get along? Probably not. I do not think Aranessa and... Because Aranessa is the daughter of Manon. And Manon and Mathland seem to be vaguely separate entities. If anything, they'd probably be in competition. I know dwarves don't use cavalry, but has there ever been a dwarf that's used a mount ever in the lore? Yeah, sure. They're called shield bearers. Shield bearers are the dwarven mounts. It's when two dwarves hold up a big shield that the dwarf lord or thane stands on, so that he has better reach and can, like, smack people better. And is easier to see. Damn it. There we go. Is the Dark Elf Death Knight just like the Purge? It's similar to the Purge, but the rules are a little more complicated. Because there are rules to it, but it's kind of loosey-goosey and it's a bit of a mess, to be honest. Oh, I have so much money. Who can you stabs? I'll tell you who you can stabs. Get more fanatics, then I'll tell you who you can stabs. I don't want that there right now. Yeah, I really want to send Azhag to Nagashazar, but we're not quite ready yet. Oh, I just realized though, if we take Nagashazar, it's definitely gonna start a fight with Queek. That might be one of like the last things we do, is take Nagashazar, because I don't want to start a fight with Queek until like it's absolutely necessary. I'd much rather manipulate him into being my ally than piss him off, at least right now. Oh, I need a shaman for you, don't I? Where's my nearest shaman hut? Very, very far away is where the answer. Okay, I need a shaman, a night goblin shaman. Yeah, I guess Braga works. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop. Cool. You go here. Oh, you know what? You know what I need to do? I need, actually, Spider Bro. I'm going to send Spider Bro to the Moot first. Because if I raid the Moot, I can get Slaga Slashes. An Errantry War is declared on Ulthuan. Who comes out on top? Bretonia gets absolutely annihilated because they would have to... although they are a very powerful navy, they would have to get all of their troops to Ulthuan, which would be a problem. And that would cost them the entire war. The end. Invading Ulthuan is a literal nightmare, especially if you're coming from the west or from the east. It is a very difficult. Everything just got like a lot more expensive. Okay. All right, because I just finished getting like 5 new units or some bullshit. Okay, I do want to be careful. I'm getting a little low on muns. I want you to come down here and sack. To make me money! Okay, you're gonna go to the Moot and raid it. Masha, I want you to hang out in Achendorf for right now. This is for you. I want you to come over this way. Man, I really hope the Skaven are making headway.
Now then, speak quick.
Nah, I'll just come punch you in the face in a minute, Grimgor. You just hang tight, buddy. Is it possible to have a Chaos Vampire? No. Vampires have nothing to offer the Dark Gods. The End Times technically changed that, where they were suddenly accepting vampire applicants, but that was a weird End Times thing. Bretonnians have a navy? Dude, the Bretonnians have one of the strongest navies in the world. The thing about the Bretonnian navy is that Bretonnians do not believe the concept of chivalry applies outside of knights. So, on their ships, the Bretonnians have no issue using, like, copious amounts of black powder weapons. So they have, like, terrifying navies because their ships have, like, ass loads of cannons and stuff. And then they also have Pegasus Knights just, like, hanging around all their ships, which is also very scary.
The tribe's ready. Now they'll sing.
Slimy Shanks.
Now,
Okay, I want you to...
bah. Anything you say.
To the moot! Which we will now raid. Which is going to piss off the vampires a little bit, but hopefully they won't hold it against me too bad, because I need money. Okay, we're just going to sack Caradron. Ooh, baby. And I'm going to move up against the edge here, so that if he attacks something, I can jump on him immediately. And that's all we can really do right now. I want you to come over here. I want you to get back to blocking armies. You want to, so how old is Grimgor? We don't have a precise... Oh, that really hurt. Ow. Oh, God. We don't have an exact age on how old Grimgor is. From what we know about Grimgor's backstory, it seems that he participated in the original Black Orc Rebellion against the Chaos Dwarves, which makes him incredibly old, like thousands of years old. That would make Grimgor roughly as old as Sigmar. So Grimgor would be like 2,000 years old, give or take. Oh yeah, nope, that's not gonna happen. That's fine though. Annoying, but fine. Oh, he actually decided to stay there. He's gonna regret that. Stop wounding my heroes. You, God, I'm so sick of these stupid ghosts, dude. Please don't die on stream. It's okay. I wrecked myself, so to speak. It just hurt for a good second. How is the Bretonnian Navy looked upon by its army? As unchivalrous, but necessary. I really want to protect Mount Squidhorn if I can. Oh, son of a bitch.
Can you feel it?
Here he comes!
From the north it comes. The tendrils of chaos spread south, tainting the lands. And with it, the warriors of chaos march. We must ready ourselves, for war is coming. But who has brought the warring tribes together? What manner of champion holds that power? Oblivion has come.
I mean, I'm not even gonna fight him.
Archaon,
Look,
the
there
ever-chosen
are
Lord
two
of
vampire count
chaos,
armies
as
just
he enters
sitting
the
here
world.
in the Chaos
Within
Waste.
marches a
Is that
chaos
Helmengorst?
numbers
Helmengorst
Prepare
is here to
yourself
hold
for
off.
the coming apocalypse.
Helmengorst is up here to hold off the apocalypse, guys. It's okay. We got nothing to worry about. Helmengorst has got it under control. Don't even have to worry.
Nasty magic's ready. Yes, on
I hope he chokes. Okay. Azhag. Daddy needs you. Here. Bonus versus infantry. Yeah, we'll just smash our way in. Oh, I was hoping he'd have walls. That'd actually make this a lot easier. Could peaceful humans hang around Lizardman cities, armies, etc. without the fear of being randomly assaulted? If the humans were not on top of or too close to a sacred settlement, then the Lizardmen have no problem. Like, the Lizardmen are more than happy to let humans just be around. But they would but the humans would have to be peaceful and not touch stuff. You just sit this one out. Well, you personally can come fight, but your army, I want to sit this one out. How powerful and big are Stonehorns? Go watch the last Q&A Ogre Kingdoms video I just did. But Stonehorns are freaking terrifying, dude. They're huge, first of all. Stonehorns are like one of the largest creatures out there. That like are casually used as mounts by the ogres. But I mean, they're huge. I mean, they have to be big enough for the ogres to be able to use them, which says a lot. Gonna dive my big old butt down here. Come here, pigs. Ooh, ow. That actually kind of hurt. Oh, there it is. I was like, where's that volley coming from? You lot. Like so. Go this way. Archers, go this way. Rogue Idol, just charge in there as fast as you can. Wow, my pigs got like absolutely ripped to pieces by that whole shenanigan. Let's get all that crap offline. Oh, I could have angled that a lot better. It's okay. Ah, dang, I was hoping to keep going. Wait, no, stop. Stop. Do that. Okay. Black orcs are so slow! Okay, let's take out these war machines. It's probably the best thing I can do right now. That all tickled. Come on, lads, into them! So we got this in the bag, it's just that we're gonna take a good number of casualties. Get after these stupid copters. Goodness. In the lore, is a Chaos Giant... No. All giants are pretty much the same. Yeah, there's very little difference between giants. The only type of giant that is, like, flat out better than other giants is the Chaos Siege Giant, which was invented by the Chaos Dwarves. Well, yeah, and the Bone Grinder. The Bone Grinder's not really a giant at that point. The Bone Grinder Giant's like it's like a whole nother classification. Those aren't even comparable to regular giants. What race would I consider the most frustrating to have a conversation with? Who would be the most frustrating race to talk to? The most frustrating race to talk to would honestly probably be like the Slawn. The Slawn would probably be like genuine agony to talk to. Just because they are notoriously... I don't think patient is the right word. They are not in a great hurry for anything to happen or for anything to be done, which can result in it feeling like they're not listening to you or they don't care, which granted may also be a part of what's happening. But yeah, I would say they're probably the most annoying to deal with. The Chaos... Yeah, I highly doubt we're going to see the Chaos Invasion. I have a good feeling the vampire counts are probably just going to curb stomp Archaon. But, hopefully, now that Archaon has spawned, we might be able to get a diplomacy bonus with the vampire counts. We'll have to see what happens. Are there any kinds of Dawei melee infantry that are not in the game? Technically, yeah. I mean, it depends on how, like, how deep in the lore do you want to dig? If you just want to, like, go down the rabbit hole and just never come up for air, you can almost always find more stuff that you could potentially put in the game. Do Wood Elves use soap? Probably not. I imagine they have some kind of, like, special... I don't know what they do. I mean, we know they are apparently, like, clean.
That works. Yes, on it.
But their cleanliness, I think, revolves around other stuff. Hello, Skaven.
On it. Blast them good.
Oh my gosh. That's an actual army. I'll come back to this.
Time to fight.
We will fight that this turn, but I'll come back to that.
What you want?
Azhag is here.
I want you to heal up for a few turns, and then we'll go get Slag of Slashes, which will be nice.
champion, I have seen thine wake.
Be friends with me! Man, I need to get my level up, but man, I feel like this is even more punishing than it usually is, trying to determine your power level. I wish it took into account things like, besides just like having the most armies. Alright, let's get this army up and running. Okay, 6 wide seems good on that. Oh, whoops. Mount Squighorn is supposed to have the Squig building, not the Pillars of Gork. Armor piercing. I'll give that... Let's give that to the bonus versus infantry. Kiddos. His army is actually kind of terrible. Like, the only thing it really has are 3 Rattling guns and some Storm Vermin. Which I don't think is going to slow us down that much. Can I give you some campaign tips when it comes to diplomacy and whether to sack or occupy? So, MVB, in my experience, if your goal is to ally with a certain faction, like you're trying to manipulate a faction to ally with you, the best thing you can do in order to get them to like you is, first of all, you want your power rank to be as high as feasibly possible. The higher your strength rank, the more likely that the AI is going to negotiate with you, essentially. Or at least negotiate with you in a way that's, like, favorable for you. Outside of that, to increase your favorability with them, generally the best method is to invest significantly in attacking whoever their enemy is. So find out whatever faction the AI that you want to be friends with doesn't like, and just invest a stupid amount of effort in, like, sending your agents to harass them, or sending your armies to attack them. Like, that's the enemy you want to focus on as much as possible. Because by doing that, that's the fastest way to basically get, like, a lot of favorability with the AI. And it's, you know, it's not a perfect system. They can still be kind of annoying to deal with sometimes, but it's better than nothing. And that's really the only way to get their attention as much as you're probably going to want it. Okay, we're going to just send in a bunch of people to beat on that boss. Summon little baby spiders. Spider Raiders! Now's your moment. Do the shake! Whoa, easy there. You go kick the ass of their little lord, dude. Nope, not him. Him. Good job, spiders! Work is getting done. Okay, it looks like they're all pretty much on death's door at this point. Chase him down, boys. Chase him down. This army may be the stuff of nightmares, but it gets the job done. Who's shooting bullets at me? Okay, so it looks like most of the army's rallied over this way. Charge! Into them! Do Noblars need to fight every day like other greenskins? No. Noblars are very different from regular greenskins. I mean, they do fight a lot, but they ignore a lot of the basic rules. Remember Sotek spiders eat rats? Well, not these spiders. These spiders eat... Oh, wait. No, yeah, you're right. Never mind. I'm going to stop talking. I got confused. Who would win in a fight between Eltharion the Grim and Karl Franz on a Griffin? Karl Franz would win that fight just because he has Gul Maraz. And Gul Maraz is like the most overpowered piece of metal on the face of the earth. I will take this. Okay, Mordheim is ours. Sad face, there's not a unique building for us here, but that's okay. Let's do... Hard as nails to buff all my spiders. Archers. Spider archers. There we go. You're still healing. Okay. Stuff's happening. What is the planet in Warhammer called? Just Earth? Lord Jingo, it was basically just called Earth, but I don't know if they ever officially said that. I think they kind of dance around it. But in Age of Sigmar, the world that was is dubbed Mallus. M-A-L-L-U-S is its like is its current like official name. I wonder if the dwarves are starting to run out of armies. It's called Earth. Maybe it's what the greenskins call it. Why do I like so much the Warhammer lore? I don't know. I think for me, I've always been someone that, when I was younger, like, I think I had the potential to be someone that was just a regular hardcore history buff. But I've always found the real world to be a little lacking when it comes to, like, true flair. And just, like, feats of insanity, but, like, in a good way, like, epicness. So, I think the thing that drew me to Warhammer Fantasy so hard was that in Warhammer Fantasy, you're not just dealing with a fantasy universe. I don't think that's what makes it special. I think what makes the Warhammer Fantasy universe special is that not only are you dealing with a fantasy universe, but it's also based on our real universe. You know, you can find famous historical characters and famous historical moments and all of this stuff basically retold in the lens of Warhammer Fantasy, and that just made me absolutely fall in love with it. Wow, this guy's got some spooky armies, considering he's just been sitting here the entire time. Look at this thing. He's got all sorts of, like, warp grinders and rank 9 units, and he's just been sitting on his ass back here hiding. Alright. But yeah, I guess that's why I like it the most. The real world's cool and all, it's just not as flashy. Especially once you actually start making friends with like actual really big history nerds. One of the fastest things I learned while being good friends with history nerds is they ruin everything. like, like there's so many like really famous moments or stories that you're like, man, that's so cool and whatever. And then you meet a history buff and they're like, well, actually, like that's just the way they are. Is they're the well actually crowd manifested to a degree that you would never expect. And I think it's just because I think it tends to be that history people are just as bad as fantasy people when it comes to that they work really hard to try and understand the truth behind any given situation. And they're like, no, that's wrong. This is what happened. But the problem with doing that historically is that there really isn't like a purely 100% true accurate version of the real world. You know? It's like history's written by the victor, yada yada yada. Like there are so many stories, like virtually every story in humanity changes depending on who's telling the story. Like there are so many versions of stories that you think, oh, this is like 100% right. This can't possibly be wrong. And then it turns out, nope, it's not 100% wrong. There is truth to it, but it is not the truth. You know what I mean? And like, you don't have to deal with that in fantasy. In fantasy situations, there are 100% accurate versions of what happened. In a lot. Now, sometimes, you know, there are little things that change depending on who's telling it. Especially in Warhammer Fantasy, that's something fantasy leans into really heavy. Is that it's a little more complicated than that. Not the truth is not always known. We don't have the answer to every situation or every story, and that's cool. But there are many situations where we know exactly what happened, and that's just not the case with the real world. Roasted storm vermin coming right up. This spider army actually does really, really well against Skaven because you can just keep up with them. Normally Skaven are like, look how fast we are, and I'm like, yeah, no, get on my level. Who dares shoot me? You lot, melee mode. Kill them. Keep Money Savage, is it possible to find trolls in other races? I know they're extremely stupid, but can it happen? I mean, trolls are manipulated or like captured and used by a lot of races. That being said, you never see them with order races just because order races are not willing to pay the price that you have to pay in order to control a troll. Like, the thing about controlling a troll is you just have to accept that there's going to be casualties. You just have to accept that there's going to be problems. And that, like, people are going to die because the trolls are going to get hungry and they're going to eat them or whatever. If you're not okay with that, then you're not going to be able to put up with having trolls. Because that's just what they do. They're stupid and they eat things and they're not good at following orders. So they only tend to do well in armies that can rely much more heavily on like horde-style combat than, you know, traditional order armies. That's why you never see them used outside of destruction or chaos armies. That being said, I mean, they are used by a lot of armies. They're used, you know, they're used by Norskins. They're used by Chaos. They're used by Greenskins. Skaven have attempted to use them, and they've had mixed results, but Skaven just have found that Rad Ogres perform much better for them. Oh, we got a tip here. Jim, thanks so much for the $10 tip. What is the most epic siege in the lore and why? Oh, dude. Oh, dude, it's not even a contest. The most epic siege in all of Warhammer Fantasy is the Battle at the Gates of Kislev. Hands down. Like, not even... There's no contest about... Like, no one can compete with that battle. That was, like, one of the greatest battles in all of Warhammer Fantasy. Because just so many factions were involved. And it was, like, a huge mess, but in, like, a good way. Where just everybody... It was just, like, a bunch of Order factions versus a bunch of Destruction factions. Or evil factions. With the Destruction factions running around and they're just making a mess. You know? It's like, sure, you had, I mean, you had, you know, the Demons of Chaos, the Warriors of Chaos, the Beastmen, and, I think it was mostly those three, with a little bit of Skaven. I think we're wandering around in there. Versus Kislev, the Dwarves, the Empire, and the High Elves, even though the High Elves only contributed a few people. But those few people were really powerful sorcerers to help out. And then on top of that, you had Ogres on both sides. And you had Greenskins attacking both sides. So, because the Greenskins weren't really on anybody's side. It was more of they were just attacking whoever was closest. But that's like one of the most epic, amazing sieges in Warhammer Fantasy. And the real tragedy is we don't have a ton of details about it. Like, we have a decent amount of details, but not as many as you would think. It's called the Battle at the Gates of Kislev. Other really famous sieges that are very close and near and dear to my heart, the Siege of Hexwaddle. The Siege of Hexwaddle is one of the most detailed sieges. That is amazing. That one was literally just the Lizardmen versus all the bad guys. So it was the Chaos Dwarves, the Warriors of Chaos, the Beastmen, the Dark Elves, and the Demons of Chaos. All 5 of them combined under the fist of Vashnar the Tormentor, who was a grand Chaos Lord of Slaanesh on a Chaos Dragon. They all united underneath his banner and attacked the city of Hexwaddle in this colossal siege that lasted for, I want to say, 3 months. But the storyline of the siege literally covers Vashnar, like, entering Lustria, and it follows Vashnar entering Lustria all the way up to the Siege of Hexwaddle, where he lays siege to the city, and it's like this epic, horrific confrontation where the Lizardmen are, like, struggling to survive because they're fighting just a massive horde they have no hope against, alongside, like, a bunch of other issues. And then they proceed to, like, and they're just, like, holding on, waiting for reinforcements. And then on the day that the city's gonna fall is when both Krokkar and Mazdamundi show up at the same time. So Krokkar and Mazdamundi show up at the head of both of their armies, and they charge in to fight Vashnar, and it's like a battle that lasts for an entire 24 hours, and it's nuts. Other great, yeah, the Battle for Carrick 8 Peaks was a really, really good one. Granted, the Siege of Carrick 8 Peaks wasn't really so much a siege as a, like, super prolonged series of running battles. I'll let Azhag talk for a minute.
I want his head. Shut up, crowd. This is not a waste of time. We kill who I say we kill. The plan's simple. I want a full pincer movement. Attacking from the east and west flanks at the same time will increase our chances of success. What? Sonny Deadblood taking up my words again. Get your choppers out, lads. It's time to move. Yeah, if you want to do that flanking maneuver once it, We probably should, because I've got a feeling it might work.
They did such a good job with Azhag's speeches. My only regret about Azhag's voice lines in game is that they didn't go all the way with it. They went most of the way with it, but not all the way with it. Like, I would have loved for Azhag to be like Malice Darkblade, where on the campaign map and in battle, he's like constantly arguing with the crown. You know, he only does it during quest battles. But, I love when he argues with himself in quest battles. It's so funny. I forgot that most of my army doesn't have... Well, I think enough of my army that they can get nice and close. Because Azhag's pretty fast, so Azhag will catch up. Black Orcs. Rogue Idol, you can just go solo that enemy army. That's fine. What's the story of Egrim von Horseman? Oh, dude. So, the TLDR of Egrim von Horseman, who has a book, by the way. You should check it out if you've never read it. Egrim von Horseman was a magister in the College of Light who, due to a personal vendetta against a really horrible person, like a really nasty human being of the Empire, Egrim von Horseman essentially went on a grand escapade to get his revenge against a series of individuals who had wronged him. And to accomplish this, he went through a really complicated series of designs to try and manipulate a relationship with the god Tzeentch so that he would get what he wanted, but Tzeentch would not get a hold of his soul. So kind of the big thing about his story is that he is trying to one-up Tzeentch. Like, he's trying to outplay Tzeentch, and that's the main crux of his tale. As you could probably imagine, it doesn't go well for him in the end. He gets super duper close to succeeding in his task. Like, he does manage to keep his soul away from Tzeentch until the very, very end. When he basically orchestrates this horrific series of events, and the Empire, the College of Magic, realizes that Egrim von Horseman is the bad guy. And during their, like, final attempt to capture him, for all of the horrible shit that he's done in the name of vengeance, he basically worms his way into getting access to one of, like, the lowest chambers in the College of Light, where a lot of, like, these horrible artifacts are kept. And Egrim von Horseman goes down there and unleashes the agonizingly horrible creature slash chaos dragon that we know as Baldros. And Baldros is not only a chaos dragon, Baldros is a immortal chaos dragon. As in, he cannot be killed. He's invulnerable, essentially. He was able to be imprisoned, but he could not be killed. He was captured in the aftermath of the battle at the Gates of Kislev. And Teclis realized they couldn't kill him. So Teclis instead orchestrated his capture. But Egrim von Horseman busted him out all those years later, which is basically what Tzeentch manipulated him to do. Tzeentch wanted him to free Baldros. And he did, being a good little servant, even though that was absolutely not what he wanted at all. He thought he could manipulate Tzeentch for his own benefit, and he was very wrong. Oh yeah, Undertaker, I saw your post on that. That would have been a clever pun. Who's my favorite Elven Lord? My favorite Elven Lord is Corhill. Core Hill the White Lion. Yay! We got Psychic Slashes. Good. If Alcatazar had not killed Nagash, would the Slann have attempted to stop Nagash's ritual? Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't think they could have, though. Nagash had a really good setup. Like, Nagash had made absolutely certain nobody could stop him in his ritual. The only reason he goofed up is he did not realize that he did not consider someone being able to break into his sanctum and get all the way to him without him noticing. Or his guards noticing. Like, he was too arrogant to consider that even a distinct possibility. So, lo and behold, when it happened, he was not ready for it. And he turned around to face off against... When Alcatazar started cutting him up... And the crazy thing about him is like, ultimately, Nagash was almost right that he was, like, untouchable. Because when the Skaven actually attacked him in his little sanctuary, Nagash, like, when Alcatazar swung the first time, Nagash immediately, like, literally immediately turned and blasted Alcatazar with a just frightening amount of magic. However, Alcatazar was wearing a pendant that the Council of 13 was using to guard him. And so when Nagash went boom, the Council of 13 was basically able... Or the Council of 13 and the Greyseer clan. It was mostly the Greyseers. Sorry, not the Council of 13. The Greyseers. The Greyseers were, like, guarding him. So when Nagash turned and blasted all the rat boys... or blasted Alcatazar, the Greyseer Council was able to absorb the blow, which immediately killed, like, a hysterical amount of the Greyseers. I want to say, like, half of the Greyseers dropped dead instantly, trying to redirect Nagash's spell, which was crazy. And, like, one of my favorite fun facts. Also, another fun fact is that the Great Horned Rat was so impressed by the Council of 13 managing to defeat Nagash because they actually set aside their differences and made a unanimous agreement to do whatever it took to take him out. He was, like, genuinely so impressed by that the Great Horned Rat, like, immediately killed them and molded them into a... combined all 13 of them, or all 12 of them, excuse me, into the Vermin Lord, who is known as Screech Vermin King. That is the mix of souls that makes up his essence. There's your fun fact for the day. Does Azhag's crown completely control him? No, they fight for control constantly. How many times have the Skaven blown up the Black Pyramid? Well, they've only blown up the Black Pyramid once. But the Skaven have managed to thwart Nagash. Like, they have managed to stop his world domination plans. 1, 2... If you don't count Age of Sigmar, they have stopped Nagash twice. If you do count Age of Sigmar, I think the Skaven have stopped Nagash like 4 times. Which is just comical. Any rants on the horizon? On the horizon, sure, but no rants today. AVPEX stream. So the way Games Workshop explained common magic items was that while each one of those items existed and had like a lore snippet, the way they explained that every single race had access to them was basically by saying that each of those races has their own version of that item. So, like, it's not that the greenskins Here, I'd rather you help me with this. It's not that the greenskins and the everybody has access to the Helm of Discord. Instead, it's that everybody has access to something like it. If that makes sense. That's how Games Workshop kind of like hand waves that whole thing. Keep killing my biggins. And my fanatic. What a jerk. Okay, you are gonna get stone trolls. And then a whole bunch of squigs. Because I like squigs.
What you want?
Man, Chloe is barking up a damn storm today. I can hear her downstairs. Bork, 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 bork.
Don't push me.
Please don't be the vampire cats. Okay, good. I'll move to here and just...
This magic is real.
Oh, wait, I'm still in my own territory. Oh, no, I can get right here. Okay.
Over there.
Almost got my shaman back. Yes, and Egrim von Horstmann did create von Horstmann's Speculum, which is still an Empire item. Funny enough, he created it while he was working at the College of Light. Because von Horstmann was actually very, very high up in the ranks of the College of Light for a very long time. Jim, Jim, thanks you so much for another tip. Thank you, my dude. And he said, oh my gosh, I missed one earlier. Kamal Jones, thank you. Okay, we'll do these one at a time. First, Jim says, the Great Maw and the fact that Ulthuan floats are both strange geographical anomalies in Warhammer. Are there more examples of magical or atypical geography or weather in the lore? Oh, dude, Jim. Oh, Jim. If you go listen to my Ogre Q&A series, I have one episode that I think it's called, like, the Geography episode, or, like, the Mountains of Morn focus, or something like that. And I talk about, like, all the stuff behind the actual Mountains of Morn themselves. The Mountains of Morn are a wild mountain range. Wait, did I just take a diplomacy hit? I was just clicking. Ooh, that's not good. Wait, did I have non-aggression with him? Hold on, I'm gonna reload because I don't want to do that. That's gonna jeopardize everything we're working on. I have plenty of patience to just wait him out. But yeah, the Mountains of Morn have like literal like ice volcanoes that spew out rivers of ice. And they have living glaciers and living mountains that actually, like, get up and can move or eat people and stuff. They have the Realm of Chaos. The Realm of Chaos is wild. Like, it rains fire or it rains blood, or the ground shifts and grows and changes and alters, and nothing ever makes sense, and everything is constantly changing, and the world breaks the laws of physics on a very regular basis. That happens all over the damn place. Both Lustria and the Southlands used to be more like normal jungles, but the Slann used their prodigious magic to basically influence them and, like, significantly change, magically enhance them to make them deadlier and deadlier and deadlier to warm-blooded life. So yeah, magical terrain and crap like that happens all the time. There are places like the fallen city of Chohatek, I believe, where the demons of chaos have managed to rip open a permanent portal to the physical plane. So there's just a chaos rift there that the lizardmen are always guarding, and making sure that if a demon army spills out, they're there to fight it, and so they can like seal it closed again. Like that's just the way the Warhammer world is. It's kind of a shit show a lot of the time. Oh, I do have non-aggression with you. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and end that. And then Kamal Jones earlier, thank you for the generous tip. Morning Sotek, if the Bretonnian Navy ever went toe-to-toe with the Norscan fleet, who comes out on top, and how hard the war for each side, considering Bretonnian galleons versus Norscan longships. So ultimately, the thing with that is the Norskins would get bodied in a naval war with the Bretonnians. There would have to be something about the Norskins. Like, there are certain Norscan fleets that can handle it. Like the plague fleet of Tentacle Bro. Gosh damn it. What's his name? What is his name?
Come before me with a proposal.
10 turns. Ugh. That's fine. I'll just raid for 10 turns then. What is his name, damn it?
Oh, yes.
It'll come to me. Tentacle Bro. I cannot think of this guy's name. Gutrot Spume. Thank you. Thank you, EJ. Yes, Gutrot Spume. Gutrot Spume's Plague Fleet would be able to absolutely handle a Bretonnian fleet. Bretonnian, it's actually a pretty weird disconnect that the Bretonnians have such a powerful navy, considering, you know, how backwards they tend to be. But that's also kind of one of the charming things about them, in my opinion. Okay, let's do 4 and then 2. But yeah, no. Bretonnians would absolutely smash Norscan longships unless the Norskins had some kind of powerful magic or monster or something to level the playing field. Norskins are very reliant on lightning raids and being extremely fast and stealthy, not just going out there and curb stomping everyone on the high seas. That's not how Norskins operate. Norskins can defeat other naval groups, but it's only when they like catch them by surprise. Because Norscan longships are fast. They're super duper fast. And they are like very, very good at what they do. But they just can't they can't keep up with like mass cannon fire.
Who needs stabbing?
All right, Azhag, we are good. We are good to go south. Begin our further invasion.
Now.
Oh good, this siege got lifted, which means I can finish up the Reddies
Magic's ready.
at Noggenhof.
This is gonna be
Goodbye, Reddies. Sure, I'll sack it.
awesome. Who should we zap?
Are there Krakens in the Warhammer universe? Yep. In fact, the main vessel in Gutrot Spume's fleet is literally a plague Kraken. And it's horrifying.
Let's not do it. Let's do stabbing.
At least I think that's the case in fantasy. I know he has a literal plague Kraken in Age of Sigmar. I can't remember if that's also the case in fantasy. I'd have to go back and double check, but pretty sure.
Night of a war boss.
I kind of want a Doom Diver in this army. Nah, it's okay the way it is. Invection87. Yeah, I have a... I'm streaming on YouTube as well, so I'm reading both chats. Oh yeah, yes, there was a mechanical Kraken as well. It was a demon engine in the shape of a Kraken, and it was terrifying. It was part of the Dreadfleet expansion, which is what Count Noctilus and Aranas assault Spider from. Oh, that was cool, Undertaker. How would Beastmen react to a Khajiit from Elder Scrolls? They would kill it and eat it. Because Khajiit are in support of maintaining and keeping civilization, which means the Beastmen would immediately try to destroy them. The Beastmen have no tolerance for the trappings of civilization. Yeah, they would absolutely kill and devour the Khajiit, or do far worse to them. But they would, at the very minimum, kill and devour them. This will please the Iron Hat. Yeah, let's take this. Start pushing the envelope against the dwarves a bit more. I'm coming for you, stunties. I'm coming for you. Good work. Yeah, I want you to just eternally trap that Rune Lord there. That would bring me great joy. Okay, I want you to spy. Can I summon a new big boss? Or sorry, Goblin big boss. Yes. I want you to specialize in blocking armies and come make the dwarves' lives a living hell. That's what I want. Goodbye. Alright, thanks. Lady, chill out. Okay, sneaky stabbers. And we want... Yeah, let's get biggest and strongest for our spiders. And then she's gonna get teach them right. Because we're gonna have her basically be the leadership character for this army. She's just gonna have all the leadership. Let's get Mordheim fully upgraded. There needs to be like a structure for every single race in Mordheim. CA needs to get on that, guys. Deacon Smith, thanks so much for being here, man. Hope you have a great day. How strong and terrifying were Ragnarok spiders compared to giant Cygors, rotting Prometheans, etc.? Ragnarok spiders are in the exact same ballpark as all those creatures. Like, they're just as strong and powerful. They just are different. Oh, who would beat Krokgar in a duel? With or without Grimlock? That's kind of an important caveat. My hair is so long. I'm gonna have to, like, start trying to get my hair into a top knot or something at the rate things are going. I'm gonna become an anime protagonist, chat. It's the only way. Goodbye, Toxide. What is the truth Archaon saw in the cave at Altdorf? Okay, so it wasn't a cave. So Dumaine Jonathan... Oh, gosh, how do I explain this? This is one of those things that I wish I had committed to memory, but I only remember, like, vague parts of it. So what happened with Archaon was that when he went to Altdorf, he got access to a really, really heretical tome known as the... Gosh, what is it? It's not the Liber Chaotica. I can't remember what it's called. But he got... The point of the story is he got access to this really heretical tome, right? It's a book he's not supposed to have. He's not supposed to open it. He's not supposed to read it. But he does anyway. Because, and granted, he was a Templar. So as a Templar, he, like, had a little bit of wiggle room. But he essentially gets access to this book at some point. Depending on which version of the story you read. Because there's two different versions of his story. But depending on the version of his story you read... what basically happens is that when he reads this book, he learns that it's about him. He learns that this book has written out his entire life story down to every molecule of everything he's ever thought, everything he's ever done, yada yada yada. And basically this, well, not exactly to that goofy of detail, but it has a lot of important details from his life. But the thing about it that bothers him so much is that the book makes it incredibly evident that Archaon is doomed to become this herald of the end times, this lord who will bring about the ruination of everything, and that nothing he does matters. Like, he has no free will. He has no his desires do not matter. Nothing about him matters. He is merely a means to an end and is simply a pawn in the scheme of beings bigger and greater with than him and far beyond his understanding. And that nothing he does or can think about ever doing will matter or stop what's coming. And that he is Archaon. He is not whatever his original name is, Diedrich something. Diedrich Kastner. Diedrich Kastner is doomed to become Archaon. Diedrich Kastner is doomed to destroy the world. Diedrich Kastner is a puppet. He's not a man. He is a device. He is something that was created by a monster. He is the product. The way he was born was a demon possessed a Norskin and raped his mother. When he was born, he brutally caused the murder of his mother because him being born was so agonizing and suffering for her that she couldn't endure it. Him being born was the catalyst that ruined the village that he was born in and doomed not only his family, but everyone else who lived there. Like, he is the ultimate suffering for all of existence, and there's nothing he can do about it, and that's all he was born to do. And he's just a toy in a game he'll never understand. And that just broke him. Like, that was just too much for him. And for him, he had lived his whole life trying to be like a paragon of virtue. He had lived his whole life trying to be the best he could best thing he could be, a Templar of Sigmar. He was everything. He had dedicated anything and everything he had ever been and ever would be, and he had suffered untold agonies in the name of Sigmar, and all of it was it was pointless. All of it was useless. All of it was a joke, and that's why Archaon hates the gods. Archaon hates the gods so much that he decided to embark on the quest as Archaon, because Archaon understands how the gods work. Archaon understood that the gods cannot exist unless there is something to worship them. So he kind of put all of his eggs in one basket of, I'm going to wipe out all life, and by doing so, I'm going to choke these gods. I'm going to make them starve. So they'll have no worshippers. They'll have nothing. And without their precious worshippers, without all of that stuff, they're going to die. Unfortunately, he wasn't 100% right about that. His calculations were off a little bit. Which is what led into Age of Sigmar. But that's where his heart was. Is Krakenrock the oldest thing in Age of Sigmar? Yes. Who could beat Krokar in a duel with Grimlock? Okay, so with Grimlock? I don't know. Krokar with Grimlock is like really, really scary. Who could beat Krokar on Grimlock? Mazda Mundi on Zlak could. Kolek Suneater would be a fair fight. I don't know if Kolek would be able to win, but he'd at least put up a good fight. That one would be hard. I don't know who would win in that matchup. If somebody gave Aberash a dragon, if Zabarash borrowed a zombie dragon from somebody, he would be a pretty good matchup. Zacharias the Ever-Living would be a pretty good matchup. End Times Nagash would be a pretty good matchup. Like, that'd be a fair fight. I don't think any of the greater demons could take him. Malekith on Seraphon would be a good fight. Pretty much anyone that's a really powerful wizard and also is on a dragon tier mount would be able to fight him. Krokgar not being a wizard means that he would have a difficult time against wizards. Kamal, thanks for the tip. How do Beastmen go about assaulting a heavily fortified city considering their aversion to tech that would even let them break open a gate? So, the way Beastmen will assault cities is that they rely very, very much on big scary monsters. So, you have to remember that Beastmen tend to be so insanely mutated that they can, they usually will have an answer to any situation if there's enough of them. And when there's enough of them, they have magic. Magic is a really scary force. You have to remember that the likes of Malagor and other great Bray Shamans can literally unleash spells that cause, like, the very stone and foundations of buildings to rot and to, like, collapse and fall apart. Or, you know, Cygors can easily smash down walls by throwing boulders. Giants can smash down walls using their clubs. Gorgons can tear them apart. Razor Gores are huge, dude. Razor Gores are so big. And big old Razor Gores have no problem, like a big one or a bunch of them to smash open a city gate. Like, Razor Gores are just living battering rams that are very, very upset. Do we know who Archaon's dad is? Yeah, Archaon's dad is Be'lakor. Be'lakor is the one who set into motion the events of Archaon's life. Like, Be'lakor was the one who possessed the Norskin that raped Archaon's mother, and Be'lakor is also the one who wrote the book that details Archaon's entire life. Like, Be'lakor created Archaon. Granted, it backfired really, really hard on him, because Be'lakor is nothing if not an idiot when it comes to, like, hardcore planning. Hearing what the magic can do makes the game look silly. Yeah, well, I mean, the game simplifies a lot of it to make it, like, prettier or make more sense and stuff like that. I mean, when you really think, I mean, a lot of the spells are powerful and stuff in Total War. They just don't have, like, the cool, crazy effects you would expect to see. Well, I mean, those Wolf Riders are going to fight the Giants, or the Slayers. I can help out, I suppose. Ooh, Daddy loves Stone Trolls. Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Damn it! Man, hammers, like, smash through my goblins so fast, I don't even have time to, like, think and use, like, fanatics. But it's okay, because I have a lot of fanatics. Like, oh god, I have so many fanatics. Just infinite fanatics. Let's kill these hammers that are in our back line.
Night Goblin Warboss! Let's do this! No mercy! Warboss! Take them!
Alright, let's slow down all these fleeing units.
Night Goblin Warboss!
Fanatics!
They got the fear! Get a kill up! Get going!
Okay, all you lot, kill Thorgrim.
Where's the kite? Stubborn ready!
No, don't let them get away. Could use some squigs over there. Oh, whatever.
Let me at him! Get a kill up!
If Sky Titans existed, what side would they be? Sky Titans would probably not be on anybody's side, honestly. Sky Titans would almost assuredly be neutral. I think Sky Titans would very much steal a page from Tolkien's Ent book, or Ents, where they'd be like, we're not on anybody's side because nobody's on our side.
Hey! They'll stop! Night Goblin sighted! Goblin! Night Goblin Warboss! You first! Moving fast! Running! Moving fast!
Alright, we'll have our squigs and trolls chase off various groups.
Need for their caps! Night Goblin sighted! Here's Gobounds! Help it out!
Good news is I'll have fermented fungi here in a hot second. What do... Gotrek and Sigmar? I'm assuming you mean those separately, because those two fighting together would be nuts.
All right!
If Gotrek Gurnison fought Krokkar, Gotrek would not win. I do not think Gotrek would be able to beat Krokkar in Grimlock. I think Gotrek would definitely kill Grimlock, and then Krokkar would probably turn around and stab him. But yeah, I would not see that fight going well for Gotrek Gurnison. Even if he had Felix with him, that's just too big a baddie. And then Sigmar, I don't know about Sigmar. Sigmar probably could, at like the absolute height of his power. I mean, Sigmar was pretty insane. Who would win, Shredder of Lustria versus Grimlock? The Shredder of Lustria would easily defeat Grimlock. The Shredder of Lustria could, like, pick up Grimlock in its mouth. So, maybe if Grimlock is a lot more clever than the average Carnosaur, maybe he could, like, make up for being so small by, like, tearing at its arteries and stuff. I mean, Grimlock is the most powerful Carnosaur ever, period, end of story. But comparing a Carnosaur to a Dreadsaurian just is not a fair fight. It's like comparing, like, a... Oh, I don't have a good example, but that's just, yeah, that's not a good matchup. Somebody kill him! Do gods like Sigmar, Ulrich, Cain, and such have their own realms? Usually not. Some gods have their own realms. Usually death gods do. Death gods tend to have their own realms. But most other gods do not. So like Sigmar, Cain, and Ulrich, they do not have their own dimensions or sub-realms. But Mor, Erith Kial, oh gosh, what's the name of the Dwarven god of the dead? It starts with a U, I think? I can't remember. The dwarves also have a death god. That also has his own pocket realm. But the greenskin gods have a pocket realm. The Great Maw doesn't. Each of the dark gods do. Hashut does. The Great Horned Rat does. The Tomb King, Usirian, the Tomb King god does. Ashurin does. Like, the elf pantheon has its own sub-realm of, wherever the hell Ashurin hangs out. But, like, each individual god does not have their own side realm within that. There's just, like, the heavens where Ashurin hangs out, and then the pocket dimension where...
Deliver your missive and then get from my presence.
6 more turns, okay.
I'm special. Nasty magic's ready. That works.
Oh my gosh, we're 1 level away from getting our spider boy, chat. It's almost spooter time.
Them night goblins.
Let's do magic reserves.
What a sucking it do you want?
I'm so pleased to have a good Night Goblin army.
On the way.
Wanted one of these a long time.
I'm well nasty. Great and powerful warboss.
The nasty skulker! And then get back here. And then, what did we lose? We lost a unit of squig hoppers. Some fanatics. Okay, that was it.
I am true power. This is good.
Okay, I think after he hits 20 stack, we will do a wah. Because we're in a really good position. Like, everyone is in an ideal position right now.
Quick, on the way. When I get there, gonna stab.
Gazul, thank you! Yes, that is the dwarf god, Gazul.
Best idea.
Who actually is like one of the only death gods that lived in, is still around in Age of Sigmar. Though the explanation for it is like super wonky. Because it's like, he definitely was killed by Nagash, but the dwarves are like, how can a death god truly die? And it's like, it's very messy. Why won't the greater chaos gods just destroy the horned rat and hash it and claim their followers? Because killing the great horned rat or hash it would be very difficult. They are enough of a threat that the dark gods attempting to go after them would be like a big thing. It would not just be a simple little casual invasion. They can't just go in there and squish them. Invading the realm of an opposite god is very hard. And the thing is, if any of the greater dark gods, the Dark Brothers, if, like, let's say Tzeentch. If Tzeentch decided, okay, I hate this horned rat bastard, I want to get rid of him, and he started going in to attack him, what would happen is that as soon as Tzeentch committed enough to potentially deal with the great horned rat, Khorne, Nurgle, and Slaanesh would immediately take advantage of that and attack Tzeentch. You have to remember that the dark gods tend to keep each other in check. Not to mention, who knows if he'd even be able to pull it off that easily. It could very well be that once he gets in there and starts doing stuff, he finds out that, oh, nope, you know, the horned rat is actually a lot better at defending himself than you might think. That vampire army is really taking its good old sweet time, isn't it?
This is gonna be messy.
Okay, Claim Creepus is dead. That's nice. And I think, chat, it's time to save the game and then wah.
Night Gobbo warboss.
You always have to save the game first, because the game is really, really fond of crashing when you wah.
Suppose I might help.
Oops. All the banners. Yeah, sure, give me a Shroom Gatherer. I'm running out of magic items. I'll take the channeling staff. It's time! I guess we could upgrade Zuffbar while we're just sitting around. I kind of want to wait until that. Kind of want to wait until this thing attacks. Okay, so we're gonna save the game, and then we're gonna wah. Hey, it didn't crash. Okay, who to wah? The dwarves again? Yeah, we'll do the dwarves again. And we're gonna dedicate it to Mork this time, because we have already dedicated many wahs to Gork. We've already gotten like the permanent Gork trophy. We've dedicated so many wahs to him.
What?
Yeah, Undertaker, essentially.
Yes, it shall be.
Hello, Iron Rock. You're mine now. Iron Rock is like such a big deal settlement. Because it's just like in such an important little crux.
Crowds whispering.
Get my backup, Biggins. Summon my backup, Biggins. Bah. Alright, there we go. Fully upgraded spider and troll army. So now all of our scrap will go towards our night gobos. Cool beans. What's the origin of Ulrich? Oh, I'd have to do a lot of research to remember. I know what book I could find that in, but I'd have to go look that up. I want to say Ulrich is remembered as a man? Who may have become a god, or he was either the concept of winter... He was... I can't remember if he was either a concept that evolved to the point that he became a god, or if he was a man who became a god. It's a little unclear. What difficulty am I playing? Very hard. Do I know why Gotrek became a Slayer? Yes. Gotrek became a Slayer because he was not there when a greenskin invading force invaded his home. So like a greenskin army invaded, and they, due to some shenanigans that I won't spoil, the greenskins were able to get past the defenses of the dwarves, and the Gotrek's family was in a town, village, hold, settlement, whatever you want to call it, that was in the path of the greenskins. And they did not realize the greenskins were coming. So they were completely unprepared. And when Gotrek returned home, he found that his home had been annihilated. Like, everybody was dead, including his daughter and his wife. And Gotrek got so angry that his family had been killed, and he blamed the Thane of the hold, because, you know, as far as he's concerned, the Thane was supposed to have been there. The Thane was supposed to have made sure this didn't happen. So Gotrek went to his, went to see his Thane, and Gotrek killed him. Gotrek basically murdered his, like, commanding officer, his lord in cold blood for failing to protect his family. Even though it wasn't actually his fault, but that gets into spoiler territory that I don't want to get into. Is Egron von Horseman's story similar to Marak? No. Egron was never really a good guy.
A foot stacker slashes down, so we can talk.
Dude, I will confederate you, but... Oh, okay. Good news, lads! We got Grimgore. Holy mother of meeting every single faction in the universe. Good God, I think I only got like 2 new settlements, and it's like, you know everyone now.
Speak then, greenskin.
3 turns until I can declare war on this schmub.
Nasty magic ready.
Nasty Skulker. Where is that enemy army gonna pop out? Probably Mordheim? I would think. Oh my gosh, my economy. Holy lord. Where did my economy go? We went from positive income to... Oh, right, because we just confederated. I was like, ah!
Who needs stabbing?
Nobody, you're fired.
This is my land.
You're also fired. Those are the only 2 settlements I gained, right? Which I'm probably not going to keep any of these. Because the dwarves are just going to, like, immediately swarm them.
Wants me.
Hawks will.
Ooh, that's a nice sword. And that's nice armor. Thank you. Hell, I'll even keep you around.
On it.
Okay, where are the remaining armies here? That's it. There are no remaining armies. Oh, that's Gorfang Edbutt. I was... So, we got Grimgor Ironhide, and we got Wurzag. That's cool. Very cool. Alright. But my economy is still absolute garbage. It's as if we have another army out that I don't know about. Or maybe... Is it hero spam? Is that what it is?
Custom boss.
Goji to slow. Actually, this is actually based on somebody. Goji to slow. This is an actual person who I know. It's funny.
Me.
We got Goji. Tricky Rotgut. That was this guy. Snorko? Oh yeah, you're the shitty dude. Okay, you can be fired. Oh my gosh, we need to, like, cut costs. I guess, well, now we can afford it. We'll power through. That's what greenskins do best.
The tribe's ready. Anything you say.
We'll power through. The only thing I can think of is it's the Wa. We didn't really gain that many new heroes or anything. And I took care of all the new armies, right? Azhag, Rachnik, and Gitter. Yeah. Are the Dwarven gods still around in AOS? Yeah, 2 of them. Well, so, Valea, no. Valea got devoured by Nagash in the end times. Grimnir became the god of fire in Age of Sigmar. Grugni became the god of metal in Age of Sigmar. And Gazul is wandering around somewhere. Sotek, if Games Workshop tried to expand the Great Enchanter with a return to the old world, do you think they would completely retcon his backstory or trying to make the old stuff work and keeping him like Warhammer Vandal Savage? No. I think if they decided to bring back Drakenfels to the old world, when they do that, they would almost certainly retcon him to be like a pure vampire type character. Or some like super necromancer. I don't think they would keep him as what he was. Ooh, that's spooky. Clan Morse confederated with Clan Scryer. So Queek got Skavenblight. What's my favorite Empire province? Ooh, that's a good question. I think... I don't know. I think I've always been a little bit more of... I think I've always been more of a Midland fan than any of the others. Ah, Catchweb Spider Shrine! It's happening, boys. It's happening! Oh, baby. We got 5 Arachnaroks in this army now. And one of them's the general. I love it. Good, my precious, good.
This magic is real.
This pleases me greatly.
All right then.
Alright.
I'll do it.
We need to start scrapping up this army.
Azhag is here.
Azhag, if you could take Black Crag, I would be so happy. Okay, wait. Before I move, let's send somebody over here to scout this out. I don't think there's anything in Black Crag. Nice.
What? Stab! What you want?
We just have to be careful that we don't lose Iron Rock. Oh wait, you don't really do anything for me, Goji. Like, I mean, you're a shaman. Ah, you're an immortal shaman. Ugh. Just go away. I wish I could revoke immortality. Do the lizardmen see a difference between the High Elves and Dark Elves? They do now. When the High Elves and Dark Elves originally split, it took like a couple thousand years for the Slaanesh to figure out what was going on. Like, to them, they were just like, okay, so some of our kids are like all edgy and going through a goth phase now, and some of them are like same and like way too bright and are in Glee Club. And then the Dark Elves started attacking the lizardmen. They were like, something's off here. And they kind of figured it out around then. What's my power level now? 9? Well, we're in the top 10 at least.
I left Clore of Nordwell, you right ear on corpse. What part of pledge?
Unstoppable!
I, Vlad von Karstein.
Talk to me, beast.
Man, I don't know if we're going to be able to get a military alliance with those guys, which if we can't is going to be super annoying.
Oh, yes. That works.
The crowd of sorcery agrees.
I'm so slow!
Try follow.
They won't feel a thing. This is a pity.
Good job.
Orc wants me.
Ah, you failed me. How could you fail me like that? Little bastard. Hey, you should be able to make it to Varenka Hills. Oh my god.
This way. Leaving.
Just raid stance, bro.
The great green flows.
Actually, I want you over here scouting. Do I think it's racist Total War Warhammer only has white races as factions? I don't think it's racist. I think it's an unfortunate... Here's what I think. I think that Games Workshop is so scared of being seen as racist that they really do not want anybody to adapt the non-white factions. I do not think that makes the Total War series racist. I think that says that Games Workshop is a little fearful of some things that maybe they should be scared of, maybe they shouldn't. I don't know. I'm not the proper authority to talk on that. I mean, if you look back in Games Workshop's past, some of the stuff that they've interpreted has been a little dicey, and by a little I mean really dicey. But at the same time, like, I've had conversations with people of other races from the countries that these games, like, I've talked with people from India, I've talked with people from the Middle East, I've talked with people from Japan and Korea, and it seems like all of those people would love to see their mythology, like, evolved and changed so that it could be Warhammerified. I think for a lot of those people it would be super exciting to see how their favorite myths and monsters could be interpreted. You know, from Korea, Japan, China, India, the Middle East for Araby or whatever. It would be fascinating. I mean, I would love that. But I think Games Workshop just doesn't want to step on anybody's toes. Oh yeah, Black Crag is like super easy to take. I'm gonna sack it first because it's worth 50 grand. Sweet lord. Then I'll take it. Yeah, we took back Black Crag. Orcs, 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 orcs. We's the best, chat. We's the best. This lets me recruit Black Orcs, right? Yeah, I'm not gonna freaking bother with that. That. That being said, like, it's worth noting that in Warhammer Fantasy, all of the races do exist. There are black people, there are, like, all, you know, there are Latinos. Technically, I don't know if that's what they would be. I guess they'd still go by that. I don't know if they would still go by that in a fantasy setting. But, like, a lot of the cultures that exist in our world also exist in the fantasy universe. Now, some of them have been shuffled around, or maybe they play a more minor part in, like, to the backdrop of one of the larger big ones. You know, like the Latin America races are obviously dominated more significantly by, like, lizardmen and stuff, but there are still humans that live there and stuff like that.
I suppose I might help.
Sneaky stabbers and smash them faster. Arcane Conduit. Yeah, that's what I was asking. Someone's like, you have to have a Latin culture to have a Latino. Sorry, I'm not. So, I like South Americans, I guess. Oh, Arkard, thanks for coming by, dude. Big ol' raid. Kiro Haas, thanks for the tip, my dude. One thing to remember at Games Workshop is that they were created during the 80s, which had a very different system. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing, is that Games Workshop was very different in the 80s. Very different. Yeah, I'm not good with technical terms. I apologize.
Away. This way.
Are there any more stunties about? Or have we done a pretty good job of seeing them off?
Yes, boss.
We finally pushed through the Dwarf Tide. Raid stands for being raided. Where's Ark? I'm guessing that Arkard is done streaming for now, so he has dropped you off to be babysat here. He dropped you guys off before he went to the milk store. I'm so sorry.
It comes.
You have my sympathy.
This magic is real.
I went out. Thanks for passing on the message to me, my dude. I didn't even notice. But I was just... Oh, there it is. It's up at the top. Yeah, now I see it. Alright. We're doing good. Azhag is kicking butt. The Dwarf Empire is crumbling. And our good old friends, the dead lads, are doing well. Okay, let's start actually investing in Vlad.
We have much to discuss.
Let's start like paying Vlad off a little bit and see if we can get him to like us more.
Yes.
Enough that he's willing to get that, because we need that military alliance. Because to win the campaign, the only thing we're missing that we actually like still need to do is own 8 of the following settlements. And we're done. Yeah, then we're literally done. So what are the closest ones we could take that would cause the least amount of problems? Kislev, Drakenhof, Corone, and Altdorf are all owned by the undead. Oh wait, no, Corone isn't. Okay. So Drakenhof, Kislev, Altdorf. Okay, so all we need to do, if we could get a military alliance with the vampire counts, that would give us 3 more settlements, which would put us at 6. Then we could either at that point try and get a military alliance with the Skaven. If we had a military alliance with the Skaven, that would put us at 8, which would win the game. So I think that would be the best bet, is try and ally the Skaven and the Von Karstein, or not the Von Karsteins, but the vampire counts. So let's try and buddy up to those 2.
Darkness comes.
Oh wow, we're going up to 170. God, but they hate each other. It's so annoying. Okay, we'll have to play it by ear. I mean, we could always attack Clan Moors. He's not that much stronger than us. He's only 1 tier above us. Such are the imperishable King of Kings. This may sound really naive, but what is stopping the Lizardmen from just conquering the world? Ultimately, it's that the Lizardmen would be grotesquely outnumbered. While there are enough of them to defend Lestria, for the most part, they're not even capable of holding their own continent super well. Plus, the Lizardmen are very slow when they tend to go out conquering. And that tends to revolve around the fact that when the Lizardmen are trying to take over territory, their main primary objective is not simply to take it. Like, they can't just take a territory and be done. The Lizardmen have to reestablish the geomantic web everywhere they go, in order to further their might and to really be in an ideal situation. And it's just a lot. Like, that takes a significant amount of work to restore the geomantic web in even a handful of locations, depending on how they've been disrupted. Ooh, looks like the dwarves are a little upset. Here they come. Man, I hope the vampire counts hurry up and put down Archaon. Because the moment they finish killing Archaon, the moment they'll start invading south, which I could really use their help. Put an army outside each city that you need and take them all in one go. I would do that, but the problem is I don't have enough money to simultaneously put an army outside every settlement I need and be able to defend my own territory.
Azhag is here.
Is Carrick 8 Peaks one of them? Ah, Carrick 8 Peaks should totally... Oh, no, it is one of them. Awesome. Okay, so we can totally take that. But first, I need to go defend Iron Rock. Because the dwarves are definitely looking a little antsy out here.
All right, then.
Why don't you
I'll do it.
bounce your way back up here?
Not likely.
Can you scoot a little further? No. So I want to do ambush stance, but I'm worried I'm going to get caught.
Night Gobbo War, boss.
Yeah, I think it'd be better to pull all the way back for right now. How many more turns till I can claim Beckoffen?
Green skin.
Oh,
But
we're good now. Alright, time for you to die. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Since WoD Battle technically doesn't work right now, odd one out. I don't know if you heard, but they put out a beta fixing the weapon skill. What? I keep doing that. The weapon strength bug. There's a public beta which fixes that bug. Oh my good lord! Look at all those Hellstorm rocket batteries. Okay, we'll do this turn though. So the wall should be working just fine now. You, I guess.
This is gonna be stabby.
Okay.
Feel the power.
Let's bring you... I can't deal with any of those.
Mr. Stabby.
You are super out of position for what I want right now.
what you want.
Why don't we send you down south to spy for us down here? Then you only a 10% chance. 14%. I'll take it. Oh, succeed! Damn, dude, nice. That was very unlikely. Good job, you. Okay, let's take this settlement, which will give me this Imperial Province and no more Empire. I went out, yeah. It's a public beta too, so anybody can turn it on. You can literally just go into your beta and you can literally just like right click on Total War Warhammer 2, go to properties, go over to betas, and then you want to activate, the drop down menu, you want to activate, I think it's the 1.9.3 beta. It's the one beneath the live build. So Tech, are Skaven and Warhammer inspired by some other race from another fantasy? I have no idea. I genuinely do not know. That would make... I mean, Games Workshop is notorious for having taken all of their ideas from other IPs. So it would make sense that it comes from, like, multiple sources. But, yeah, I don't know. Okay. We're just going to chill and wait for my Wa army. Ooh, there are no guns defending this one. Spiders! Anyone that has to go through a gate, we're going this way. The rest of you nerds head for the main gate. Oh, I've got wyverns. Nice. Oh, good lord. Okay, on second thought, y'all stay back here. Wait until we get our wyverns out here to disable these war machines. Take the scenic route. What are the, who are the top 3 tactical geniuses in Warhammer? Who are the top 3 tactical geniuses? I would say the best tactical geniuses... oh man, that's tough. Probably... I'm trying to think of like who the best characters are that were actually more focused on being generals than anything else. I would say... I would probably say Cetra the Imperishable. Karl Franz. And Krokkar. Those are probably the best flat-out generals. But man, I'd have to like sit down and go through all of my books very carefully. Scarsnake is a good general and tactician, but he's a good general and tactician for a green skin. Not necessarily that he's like the pinnacle of like the best anyone's ever seen. That's kind of where it gets tricky. There are a lot of races that have like generals who are amazing given what they are. But like if you were to give them all the same troops, they would not be nearly as impressive. Scarsnake kind of falls into that category in my opinion. Oh my lord, my wyvern got like bodied by that general. How rude. Waw's doing its job, distracting everybody. Let's actually just send the horde in. They can't stop us! Send in the spiders! I love the Lava Ragnarok so much. It's such a good unit. Oh, stop that. Don't shoot me. More Curse to Bad Moons! We're almost there. Keep pushing. I'll stay there. There's the general. Keep pushing! Good lord, take those things offline already. Big boss, chase the general. Stop that. That's rude. Oh, I got another wyvern here. Team Blizz FM, thanks so much for the tip, my dude. Do I prefer orcs as a goofy faction or more of a serious one? Loving the ogres Q&A. Well, first of all, thank you very much. Glad you're enjoying the Q&A series. Second of all, I generally prefer my greenskins more goofy. Like, the thing about the greenskins is that I like them very much as a faction where all of their mannerisms and a lot of the things that they have accomplished and the way they talk and stuff makes them seem very goofy. But I also really like that if you sit down and think about it, like you actually sit down and think about what all the greenskins have done, what they've accomplished, and like the things that they've done to other realms, it's like, these things are kind of scary. So I like them as comical on the surface, but terrifying if you really think about it. Scorn King, what would happen if Throg had a kid with a River Troll hag? I honestly don't know. That would probably be kind of horrific, to be honest. Yay, Ostermark is ours. Oh, good. Good lord, I'm going to need so much stuff in here. I do not believe their kid would be extra smart. The thing that makes Throg really, really smart is not a genetic thing. It's that he, like, randomly got blessed by the Dark Gods one day. I mean, it was quite honestly that Throg was minding his own business, just being a troll, and he did something that essentially caused the Dark Gods to look at him and be like, mutation, because they, you know, they blessed him. And it just happened to be that the blessing he got was intelligence. And like genuine sentience. And he was like, whoa, this is kind of weird. But, which is just a bizarre story. But yeah, I don't think it would pass down to any like kids he had. Mutations don't work that way. You know, just like if like you had a mutation, the Dark Gods cursed you with mutations and you like had tentacles, you would probably not pass down tentacles. How do sieges feel to play at the moment? I mean, they're bearable. Sometimes they're fun. If you have like a really thematic army and the opponent has something kind of interesting, then they can be enjoyable, but you have to make them fun. I'll put it that way. They're not fun innately. Alright, as long as we can hold Iron Rock... Uh-oh. Well, it's besieged, but he didn't attack it, which is his mistake. He should have attacked it. The Warriors of Chaos are destroyed, but we're not getting an Era of Peace message, so I'm assuming that not for long.
You what? You can't ask this of me.
These armies are so terrifying. Genuinely. Okay, I want you to come out to about here. Maybe a hair further. Ambush.
I'll do it.
I am true power.
Let's hand out some scrap.
Not stabs.
I think I want all of my Night Goblins to just have spiky weapons. Like, screw tactics. Alright, good job, Spider Lad. Making Paps proud. Get rid of that one for right now. I need public order here. So that this place doesn't just turn into a disaster zone. Because of all the frickin' vampiric corruption. Because I can't go take Nagashazar because I'm pretty sure the rats own it right now. Well, hold on. Where's my Skaven corruption meter? Skaven. Yep, they definitely own it. Stupid frickin' stunties.
Yes, it shall be.
What's my Wa army look like? A lot of lava stuff.
Not likely. Not possible.
Did any of the good guys ever come face to face with one of the Dark Gods? One of the good guys? Sigmar technically did after he died and like became a god. The Slann have. All of the Slann have seen the Dark Gods. Because that has like a big thing about why they were so sluggish for so many years. Is that like the Slann literally like stared directly into the like pure insanity that is the warp or the realm of chaos. Sorry, I'm getting my terminologies mixed up. Like they literally just looked at the belly of the beast, and they saw the Dark Gods, and that like affected them. Probably the most famous character though that's actually seen the Dark Gods is Malekith. Malekith did see the Dark Gods after he got banished during the battle at Finneval Plains.
I'll take him out, boss. Mork says what?
Which is genuinely impressive. Usually seeing the Dark Gods does not go well for you.
Let's scrap.
Oh my gosh. The lightning strike's like, yeah, no, you should totally not rely on your bonus armies. How many Slann are still alive? I think there's like I want to say there's maybe 1,000 Slaanesh left. Maybe. Why does Slaanesh like the elves so much? Because the the elves are much more sensitive and indulgent in sensations and experiencing those kinds of they tend to be much more indulgent in like exploring their senses, and they're much more sensitive to a lot of different feels, and not feels as in like necessarily emotions, but elves just tend to have a very heightened sense of sensation. And because of that, Slaanesh just takes a much more personal joy in eating them, because they just taste better. There's more for him to savor and enjoy. Do I reckon Oxiodal ever got close to the Dark Gods? No. Oxiodal was definitely in the realm of chaos, but he pieced out as quick as he could. Silger, I do not have a streaming schedule right now. Right now, I just stream when I can. Especially because of everything going on in the States right now. Especially this week, I've been in and out of the house a lot. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for joining me. I'm actually going to go ahead and call it for now. It's been a lot of fun hanging out with you guys, but we've been streaming for about 4 hours. So thanks so much for coming by. It was a blast to have you all here with me. Special shout out to everyone who was generous enough to tip or sub on Twitch or membership on YouTube. I really appreciate the support. And also, thanks to any new subscribers and followers and stuff. I hope you all have a really, really wonderful day. I hope you're staying safe out there. Remember to take care of yourselves. And try and make good decisions. So, I'm going to go ahead and go work on some stuff today. There will be a video out today. So, I guarantee it. I don't know if it's going to be just another Ogre Kingdoms Q&A or if it's going to be the next Hero of Legend DLC proposal video. So, either way, you will see that in just a little bit, but I am super hungry, like it's starting to hurt. I need to go eat lunch. So, thanks again for watching, everybody. And that's all I have to say on the subject. Gotta wait for YouTube to catch up, because YouTube is super slow. Yeah, watch your hands. Of Legend DLC. Has such a delay. Okay, now I can turn it off.